Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Where's your mask? You don't have a mask?
You want me to go get one?
Are you violating the Beverly Hills law that if you come in with 6 feet of another person, you have to wear a mask? Everybody looks like the fucking Phantom of the Opera here. This is my reusable cloth mask, which is, these are disgusting. I mean, you don't want to reuse a mask. You want to throw it out. When you breathe in it, it's really, I mean, this is atrocious, you know? And I had an eggplant parmesan today that was truly life-changing. And I'm not getting money from these people or anything. I just want to say a shout out to Domenico's specialty store, you know, an Italian specialty store, that Sal Vulcano on the Impractical Jokers turned me on to, and Paul Verzi, among others. Great. Eggplant parm is such a tough dish to make because it's either too mushy, like where it's literally, or the eggplant slices are cut too thick. But this was perfect. Like, it was absolutely perfect. And it comes frozen and you heat it up in the oven or the microwave. Every time there's a choice between the oven and the microwave, I just do microwave because I did cocaine at 13. And when you do cocaine at 13, you've grown up in a home where you use the microwave a lot. So I'm no stranger to the microwave. I don't care that it radiates your food and it radiates you. And I mean, the only reason I'm not dying of coronavirus might be the fact that I stand in front of the microwave and stare at it while the little food goes around. Remember when microwavable food was considered like a healthy option?
Yeah.
Like, people would go and get literally a chunk of frozen something that looked like an artifact that was found, and then it would melt and then become something. Like, they had lean cuisine had sandwiches for a while where you would literally, like, it was like add water and then it would become a fucking sandwich. And they had these, you know, they would serve them in these little trays. Yeah, there they are. They served them in these little trays, crisping trays, and you would crisp up this. And when you were eating a lean cuisine sandwich, and that's what it really looks like right down there. That's what it really looks like. When you're eating that, and I've eaten that, and you're in an office and you're eating a lean cuisine sandwich like that, and Ben, you got to put that up on the podcast. Yeah. Because when you're eating something like that, man, there is no reason that you don't take out whatever gun would blow your head clear off. A 45, something where there wouldn't even be a chance you'd live. Like, it would have to just take you out. But I've seen it, man. I've done it. I've seen secretaries, fat people that are trying to get ahead of, you know, just choke down a lean cuisine microwavable sandwich. I mean, the horrors of mass-produced diet food. Because before there was this organic movement or farm to table, there were people that were like the same. What I love about like this era of dieting, they were like, the same people who fucked us are going to help us now.
Right.
Like, the same companies that have done nothing but push sludge down our throats through drive-through windows are now going to answer the call and provide us with healthy alternatives that we just add water and it's a steak. Just add water. And I watched my mother and countless fat Long Island women go, and men as well, more shamefully though, a man pulling out a lean cuisine. Then there was like an element where it almost got weirdly masculine. Like, if you had a lean cuisine in the break room, you had to peacock a little and be a dick, like, yo, fuck a lean cuisine. So the fuck what? Like, if people would be like, relax, dude. Calm down, you know? But that's what health food was for a very long time, was just genuine. I mean, look at that. I mean, could you imagine sitting. Now you don't really see. Now, I guess I haven't been in an office environment in a long time, but I'm sure there are still people out there choking down a lean cuisine. They're tough. There's a little Asian chicken one, which is just 4 to 5 morsels of a meat that the FDA has ruled is close enough to chicken, and then just like a little, like a handful of angel hair pasta, and it just boils. Like it cooks, it gets so hot that when there's no lean cuisine that you put in your mouth where you don't burn your mouth, 3rd degree burn. Maybe that was the strategy. Get all these people to just burn their mouth and they won't eat.
Right.
Because these lean cuisines get hotter than anything I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they get hotter than a cast iron pan because it's just chemicals. Have you ever lit plastic on fire? Yeah. That's what this is. That's what these things are. It's amazing to watch, but an amazing eggplant parmesan today from Domenico's. Thank you, Domenico's. Let's do the death counts. Where are we, everybody? Coronavirus cases right now in the world, 2,831,784. Deaths, 197,306. Recovered, 806,953. Let's do it by country. We're about to break 1 million in the USA. Tell them what they've won. They've won a Great Depression. Young people are having strokes. No one knows why. Nobody knows. You go to the hospital, you may not live. It's a brutal sickness, man. Even though I criticize like the way the government's handled it, and we can all debate what's coming and everything like that, it is a real virus. Like the people out there that think that this is not real are mentally ill. Like it's people are getting it and they're dying. Listen, you might look at the numbers and go, doesn't worry me, but that's fine. And you can make a judgment on the mortality rate. But like there are people in hospitals right now checking out in their 40s, in their 30s. And it's, in the USA, there's some real there's 15,000 critical cases in the USA. That doesn't seem like a lot. And it's not a lot, but that also could be the result of the fact that nobody's been outside. Because once everybody starts going outside, you might see more cases. If China did this and they introduce a vaccine and then we all take the vaccine and then they flip on the 5G switch and we all explode or we all fall to the ground and start shaking, you got to give it to China. You got it, folks, you got to give it to them. Credit where credit is due. Sometimes you got to know when you've been beat. They're going to win. They're putting people in while they're still screaming in a crematorium and then putting them in an urn. They're going to win here. We're apologizing because we said the wrong word. They're going to win. It's just a matter of when. And if they really did this and then the 5G starts being used and people just fall to the ground and start shaking, I mean, hats off to China. I don't want it to be the case, but if that is the case, as so many of you happen to believe, then hey, what are you going to do? What are you really going to do? All these people are going to work. Trump doesn't care about these people. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's not gonna. Obama didn't. I understand it's shitty to work at a meat processing plant when this pandemic is happening. How fun was it pre-pandemic to work at the meat packing plant? What kind of barrel of fun was it packaging meat before this for no money? Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a real ball everyone was having at the meat packaging plant before Corona. I could be wrong. Meat needs to be packaged. People need to package meat. I like meat. So do you. If we fire all the people, this comes down to the fact that not everybody is going to, there are people out there that work at jobs that are not, there's no silver lining. So their silver lining is a ciggy or a glass of booze or maybe a nice pill or the Lord Jesus or, dark web torture porn or a nice big Buford at Checkers, nice sloppy Buford. But the job's not getting better at the meat plant. Think about it. Think about working at the meat plant. It's not nice. It's not good. Everyone's like, the workers at the meat. By the way, did anyone give a shit about any of these essential workers before? They're essential. They're making $8 an hour. They're essential. We've never treated them like essential workers, and I'm saying that's fucked up. I'm saying that's not good, but we've never treated them like it's because let's be honest, if you're essential in a pandemic, it doesn't mean you're essential without a pandemic. And I respect the fuck out of the grocery clerks that are out there. But it's a different world now, and you're now essential. But you weren't essential, and it's insulting you to pretend that we don't think you're really essential. I gotta be honest with you. I'm telling the truth. Susan Sarandon won't maybe she will. Sarandon's all over the place and probably on pills and might say things that make sense occasionally. But you know what I mean. The people out here in Hollywood in their pools, they're not going to tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. We don't really think you're essential. We just don't want you to die. I don't want to die, and I don't want you to die. But we don't think you're essential. And if any of us, and I mean anybody, had to work at the meat packing plant, they would blow their head off. I'm just saying, I'm not insulting you at the plant. I have to be honest. If you don't expect honesty from me, I don't know what I can give you, truly. If you're not expecting honesty here. So let's cut the shit and this canard about the essential work. It's great. Like all of these celebrities, like it's the thank you bus drivers. Fuck one. Hey, fuck one. Fuck a bus driver. Make them essential to your pussy. Fuck one of these people that you say are essential. Take them home. Open your beautifully manicured snatch to someone packing meat at the plant. How about that? Put your money where your mouth is and put his mouth where your mouth is. Or her mouth. Go grab a big feisty dyke at the Tyson chicken plant and let her go down on you. Why not? Because they're essential. Thank you. Is there anything... Now, I brought food twice to the nurses and the doctors, and I immediately regretted it. And I paid once. Whitney paid the other time. She's done well. And the reality is this. I want the nurses, but then I realized they don't need food. They don't need me showing up with baked ziti. They don't need me showing up with trays of lasagna. This isn't a retirement party in a VFW hall in Long Island. This is an ER. They need other shit, PPE, vaccine. Listen, I'm all for helping people, but we have to be honest now, because if we're not honest, we're going to devolve rapidly into a world where people are always lying at and that's going to get us all killed. Sooner or later, if we're not honest, we have to be honest. You don't care about the essential workers. You can't flip a switch and start caring about someone overnight. You truly do not care. Because here's the thing. Some of these essential work, and I understand, But some of them still have attitudes. I'll rip the mask off your face. Do you understand? I said, where's the gravlax? The gravlax is different than the regular smoked salmon, bitch. You know this. You know this. The smoked salmon and the gravlax is cured with the dill. Don't treat me. I'll grab the mask off your face. Is what I'm saying. Okay? Let's cut the shit. I know that everybody's treating you like you're just, So let's cut it out. I am all for paying these people more fucking money. But I'm not for these fake social media displays of affection to strange a don't care. Stop banging pots and pans. Yes, it is nice for a little while. It is nice. I understand that. But we need deeper structural change. I know David Dobrik is going around L.A. shooting a T-shirt cannon at people and they're making $10,000. That's lovely. But perhaps there needs to be a more widespread effort at healing the wealth divide. That's so entertaining because we live in a fallen world where people's only hope now is that the millionaire from YouTube shoots a T-shirt cannon at them with $10,000. I thought he was just going around L.A. shooting people, which I supported. And I said, now I get it. I get it. I was like, why is this guy so popular? He's a cutie and he's nice, and I do like him. I have no beef with him. But, I was always said, like, why is he? And then I look, they go, oh, he's just running around and he's shooting people. And I go, well, that I like. And I think there's something about that. He's embracing where we are and what needs to be done. They were going, he's going around and he's shooting families in need. And at that point, I said, well, I like that, right? He sees a family in need. He goes, well, they're I don't need 4 leeches. Get him out of here. I was like, I'm in for that. Now, but supposedly he's giving them money. I don't like that. But he's going around to families in need. This is America in 2020. I want everybody to take a deep breath and realize where America is in 2020. America in 2020, if you are a family in need in America, you can only rely on the YouTube guy shooting you with a T-shirt cannon and hope to God it has a check in it. Because the government we're no longer a functional state. That's where we are. That's not a joke. That's not a bit. And the government will provide you nothing. Your only hope is that you happen to be walking around the same area as the YouTube millionaire who's shooting $10,000 checks at you. That's charity in America. He's going to shoot a potato gun and he's going to bury a $10,000 check in a potato and then shoot it at you. That is America right now. And he trended on Twitter for it. And people are like, he's the best person that's ever lived. And I'm not saying don't do charity, but I'm saying that's where we are. I have to not everything can be about selling sneakers, which is my problem about existing in the digital world, because that's literally, everything here is just about, and we are launching a line of something soon. And don't come at me and say, well, what about this and that? You go fuck your mother is what that is. Because we're launching something very soon. And it's going to be very good for everybody. And all of the donations will go to Hollywood celebrities who are already wealthy. Because we're not throwing good money after bad. I'm telling you that. Families in need. Why are you a family? Away from me, gross. Go chase David Dobrik down the street. Maybe he'll shoot you with a T-shirt cannon. Maybe there'll be a wet T-shirt contest where at the end of it, David Dobrik, he gives you $30,000 in pennies and you have to crawl around the street and stuff them in your ass. It doesn't matter. But that's where we are as a country. And be happy. Be happy, David Dobrik. I'm not insulting him. Be happy he's there. I don't have the money to do that. I don't have the sponsors that help me do that either, okay? I guess I could fling Ridge wallets at these families in need, which, by the way, I saw the videos. You didn't know how in need these people were. People that are in need, you can't shoot something at in many cases because they would shoot you back. I wish he shot something with 10 grand. I would start yelling at him like, what the fuck am I going to do with 10 grand in L.A.? Go to lunch. But that's where we're at. The government gave you $1,200. David Dobrik's giving you $10,000. That's something to think about. That's something to think about, the fact that you have to rely on a video from a YouTuber. Like, like if you're a poor person or you're somebody in need, you have to retweet Jeffree Star and hope that he gives you money. That's part of the American system. Now, part of the American system is YouTube philanthropy. That's part of America now. People do it. They tweet at these people, my loans, the student loans, I can't, my dad is sick. It's terrifying and tragic. And it's part of America now that YouTube philanthropy is a thing. You just got to wait for whatever narcissist on YouTube is willing to throw you money. I want to go around with a gun and take $10,000 from people. And I would love that if that was the video. If YouTubers got together and went around Beverly Hills and took 10 grand from people with a gun. Not a t-shirt gun, a real gun, a big boy gun. Took 10 grand from people, I would watch that video. I'm just saying this is where we are. People say I don't have anything on the pad. The circle represents a circle of life. I like having the pad here. Fuck off. Please join the Patreon. There's hundreds of thousands of you listening to this. We have 4,500 patrons. What are you going to do? It's all over. They're not making any more movies this year. They're not making, you're going to have to wait for Ozark season 4, okay? Which will be written by AI at that point, and you'll all love it. So don't, get excited over there. Ozark. Everybody, it's the best show. It's great. Laura Linney and Jason Bateman are phenomenal, and Julia Garner are amazing actors, and they do a great job with what I would consider is an okay script. It is fine. It is a serviceable piece of work for those great actors to do. Every movie or TV show right now should just be me yelling at people. There is no reason to have any other entertainment right now. It is tone deaf. It is tone deaf to have anything else but me screaming at people in my fucking carpeted apartment because I live in hell. If you have a carpet, you truly live in hell. Yeah. You really live in hell. People don't realize that the sign of poverty is a carpet. A disgusting, dirty, Stranger Things era 80s carpet where you're just like, get me the fuck out of here. Okay? It's nice to have a Persian rug. It's different. Carpeting, it just means you live in an old place. I live in an old apartment building where a lot of actors and actresses have probably said their final farewell. They said goodbye here. I'm living with their dust. It's in the walls, in the air. Broken dreams, just a litany of failures. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Folks, let's talk about cereal because I want to talk about cereal actually because, when I was a child, my parents didn't do a lot of the things I wanted. They didn't get me a dog. They said my mother was allergic. They were probably lying. They didn't let me have cereal with yellow dye number 5. They wouldn't let me have Lucky Charms. They wouldn't have me all that stuff. So what I did as a way to get back at them was become a gay cocaine addict. In my, almost immediately, a few years after that. Literally a few years after at 13, I was doing coke and trying to find dicks to suck. And that's their fault. I would have been a married banker who attended a golf club if they just let me get all my fun out with Lucky fucking Charms. Instead, they said, no Lucky Charms for you. So I found Lucky Charms and I blew them right up my nose. But breakfast used to be fun, right? I mean, once you start watching your carbs and sugar, it gets boring. It's true. We're all trying to do keto, paleo, whatever. We all want to survive, get the immune system strong so corona doesn't kill us. But now, what was great about sleeping over at somebody's house when you were young? You got their cereal in the morning. That was the best thing about a sleepover when you were a kid because halfway through the sleepover, usually you realize you're like, oh, I hate this kid. Like this kid sucks or this kid's annoying or this kid's overly impressed with his house and it's not that nice, you know? Or this kid's in love with his big brother. You ever have that kid where then he's like telling you all about his big brother, you know? And then you suck his big brother off in the middle of the night and you're like, I get it now. But no, the reality is the next day, like I used to sleep over at my friend Josh's house, and his mother, the next morning, she'd make, the worst food ever. And she'd go, have you ever had such Jewish cooking? And it was like, this is bad. Eileen, the French toast is bad. It's dry. Eileen, it's dry. But every now and then you'd sleep over a real white trash kid's house. Like when the parents aren't even there in the morning, then you know you're going to get the best cereal. That's when I first had Cookie Crisp or Count Chocula. You know, if there was a cigarette full of, if there was an ashtray full of cigarettes, and I asked the kid where his parents were, and he's like, I don't know. And he just shrugged. I'm like, what do you got to eat? Because I knew it was going to be good. He'd pull out Lucky Charms. I was like, your parents let you eat this? He's like, yeah. So if you want to get back to that magic of sleeping over a kid's house whose parents were abusing him, if you want to find that magic that you've lost, getting so excited, waffle crisp, if you were eating Lucky Charms in the morning, it means if you were a kid, you were backhanded. You got backhanded a few times by dad when dad had had enough, and by mom. But now there's Magic Spoon, a new cereal company that's discovered a way to recreate your favorite childhood cereals with 0 sugar, 12 grams of protein, and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. So if you're a cereal freak, and some people are, you can indulge in an array of classic cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry. Fruity is amazing. Blueberry's really good too. They've sent these to me. I've tested them. I really like the fruity one. It tastes really like Fruity Pebbles. Not Fruity Pebbles. It tastes like Fruit Loops.
Yes.
Because they're loops. Magic Spoon is loops. They're loops. I didn't like the texture of the Pebble cereals.
No.
Like Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles. The kids that really like the Pebble cereals are just standing over a strangled corpse right now, and they don't know what to do. I also didn't like a cluster. Like when something was a cluster, like the Honey Bunches of Oats.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't into that either. I liked a Fruit Loop, a loop.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a Golden Graham or a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I liked Apple Jacks. I got Apple Jacks when the quarantine started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got Apple. I had a bowl of it, and then I said, what am I doing? And I threw it out. But Apple Jacks is a fall cereal. It's for starting. It's got a fall flavor. It makes you think of Halloween. It's got the orange and bright orange and green loops. Magic Spoon spent over a year working on a vaccine. Kidding. Best food scientists and chefs in the world. What? Who are working? Okay. Whatever. Listen, I trust them. They spent, it is good cereal, but they spent, the best food scientists and chefs in the world are apparently working on a cereal for fatties. And they did recreate the taste and texture of classic sugary cereal. It really does. You really do say, hey, it takes you back to being in your white trash buddy's house, eating a big bowl of fucking, Lucky Charms while his mother just, is passed out in a room. And he's like, I can't try to wake my mother up before noon or I get hit. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, soy-free, low-carb, GMO-free. You've got to try Magic Spoon to believe it because it tastes amazing. Literally, guys, if you are doing keto and you like cereal and you love my show and you want to support it, this is the way to do it. Listen, people that have female audiences make millions and trillions of dollars podcasting. I have an audience mainly of men because I'm talking sense. But the problem with men is that they don't... I'm not recapping the Real Housewives or whatever else you ladies are into. It's amazing to get, it's like gay. It's like everyone's like, oh, you're going to be gay. And then you have to be around a lot of women. It's like, wait, what? I'm kidding. I have a very much respect for the ladies out there. And I love you. And I want more of you to listen. And I want you to buy the fucking products. Okay? That's what I really want to happen. I have a male audience. It's not my fault. It's the way it shook out. But the women who do listen to me are special women. They are bosses. They are gangsters. They run businesses. They are prostitutes. They are sex slaves. They are drug addicts. They give themselves abortions. They are QAnon. They're trying to steal people's children they think were kidnapped by sex cults. They have QAnon tattooed on their pussy. These are special ladies. They think they were abducted and fucked by George Soros. The women that connect with my material have been to prison, not jail, prison. They've done a stretch or two. They've killed their parents or their children or both. The women that connect to my show are special women. They've thought about hiring someone to kill their husband. They've thought about it. They've never done it, but they've thought about it. They sit in that suburban hell they've created for themselves, and they hear my voice, and they hear it as the voice of freedom. And they think, what would I have to do to just get this stupid lug out of my life and go do something that really speaks to my soul? And to them, I'm saying, go to magicspoon.com/Tim Dillon to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code Tim Dillon, my name, TIMDILLON, because I want to make lots of money. And I need the women to do it because men are stupid, apparently, and don't fucking buy anything and just binge free content because they think they've all got it figured out. You haven't got it figured out. You're nothing out there, men. I need women. I want an audience of 5,000 bitches that just buy my shit. This show might turn around and be straight up catered to the fucking hoes. I might come on the show and be like, I'm your hoe. That's where we're going. If you start buying Magic Spoon cereal, I'll do the show in fucking drag, and I'll talk about whatever horse shit you want me to talk about. The Bachelor, avocado toast, cleaning out your asshole, whatever you want, I'm in. I'll do it. I don't have to blabber about the CIA to these broke fucks all the time. Who cares? These retards who go in their backyard and shoot at their tree. These fucking militiamen or whoever the fuck's listening. We'll get them out of here. We'll dump them on the side of the fucking road. I want bitches that spend money, Instagram influencers, basic bitches that spend. It's you who this ad is for. You are the ones that need to stay attractive. And you know why? Because the world is unfair. It has beauty standards and all of that shit that I'll talk more about if you buy the Magic Spoon cereal. And if I find out you're not buying it, I will have no choice but to keep doing what I've kind of been doing, which is steer the content to more of a male domain, more of a kind of thinking-based show. It's a joke. It's funny because it's not true. Men are retarded. Women are retarded. Everyone's stupid. I forgot is this an ad still? They're going to believe these people. I don't care. It's good cereal. Buy the cereal. I'm not kidding anymore about this. I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to kill your family if you don't buy the cereal. I swear to God, I'll select one of you at random. I'll come to your fucking house and I'll blow my brains out in front of you. And every day for the rest of your life, you'll see the gun going into my fat mouth as I blow my head off in front of you if you do not buy this fucking cereal. Okay? Celebrity kid from Ozark, whose name I won't mention, buy the fucking cereal, okay? You better stay thin. You know, you play that white trash, whatever it is, they want you to be thin. You can't plump up. Don't get fat. It's all over for you. Buy the fucking cereal. Everybody listening, buy the cereal. Ryan Phillippe, if he still listens to this fucking show, buy the cereal, please. Buy the cereal. You're getting older. You keep in great shape. We get it. You run. It's fine. Buy the cereal, magicspoon.com/Tim Dillon. And God help you if you buy this fucking cereal and you don't use the promo Tim Dillon. If you buy the cereal and you do not use the promo code, I swear to God, I will drive LA homeless corona patients to your fucking house and I will let them in your back door and they will cough on all of your shit while you're out. magicspoon.com/Tim Dillon. Use the code Tim Dillon for free shipping. And a big thanks to Magic Spoon for sponsoring us. Cereal. I want to get the ads going. That's my point here. Patreon's great, but we got to get the ads going. You know why all the big podcasts in LA don't have Patreons? Because they have, and I'll always do a Patreon because I always want to do content that I like the idea of Patreon. Because $5 you get 4 hours. It's good. It's real deal shit. You're not getting fucked over. I've sold a lot of bad products in my life, subprime mortgages, copier machines. It didn't work, and I'll do it again. But the point is that the Patreon's actually a good deal. But a lot of these big podcasts in LA, they don't need that because everybody buys the shit. So just buy the shit, please. I'm not going to get less funny. I know, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get, I think some of you think I'm going to get less funny when I like have a home, when I can afford a house. Here's what's going to happen if I can't afford a house. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all of you. I'll find a way to kill all of you. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'll figure out a fucking way. I'll kill every last one of you. I'll kill my whole audience. What's going on with this vaccine, these motherfuckers? You pull something up here about the vaccine. Okay. What are we doing? What is the vaccine here? I was fucking around in the kitchen. I think I got something with a little white wine vinegar and something. I'm going to call the CDC tomorrow, see if we can start a trial. I was fucking around with a little extra virgin olive oil, a little white wine vinegar. I think we could kind of do it. We've topped over 50,000 deaths. It's a fucking ugly thing, man. Anti-vaccine, anti-lockdown movements converging, refusing to be enslaved. Here's the thing, folks. Here's the point. It's, again, this is unhelpful to have this fucking, we have such a fucking dumb country. It's such a dumb country that the people are not governable because on one side of the anti-lockdown movement, you have these retards that are like going out there and they're acting like they have a right to like completely destabilize society entirely by just flouting every like common sense. Like you wouldn't even have to have these lockdown movements if we were hygienic. Take a shower, pig. You wouldn't even have to have these fucking lockdown movements if you didn't go to Applebee's and take a shit in the booth. Like the reason that you have to be locked inside of your houses. So there's certain people that are like, I just want to go cough on old people because it's really fun. And then the other side of morons who are like, this quarantine has become like a boon for like cat mom winos who are like baking bread and showing us their like charcuterie platters all day. And it's like, enough with that. They're fetishizing this quarantine. They like being alone. They like the idea that they can just, they work at some bullshit creative job. They've saved up enough money. They don't understand that there's people out there that have to really work in America at real fucking jobs. Okay? Some people need to go out and open up their business that they own, the fucking fried chicken and grenade stand. Or whatever it is, because that's what's out there. People need fried chicken and grenades. So on one side, you have people being like, oh, what do you mean I can't fall apart? I want to part. You have these fucking disgusting spring break kids, which, by the way, let's end that whole thing. Let's end that immediately. All of that, what I hope, truly what I hope comes out of this pandemic is I don't want to ever see anyone in public again happy. If we can go through this whole pandemic and on the other side of it, come out with a stoic Scandinavian group of people who like barely shows emotion and just walks around the street, it'll be like something good. There's nothing more repulsive than seeing people. Now here, I like maniacal laughter. When you see me and my friends out, you'll always see us laughing a lot, but we never look happy because we're not. We're laughing because if we weren't, we would be killing ourselves. And it's the type of laughter that's very unstable, and it could lead very quickly into screaming or crying. That is still okay. But genuine displays of affection and happiness amongst groups or couples should be over now. You should be walking around thinking about death every minute of every day. The darkness that lives outside of you should now live in you. A little part of it should live in you. So what I mean here is that, like, I understand how gross it is if your fucking cousin is in the hospital with COVID and they're fighting for their fucking life, and then you see these idiots that just want to be on jet skis. It'll drive you fucking mad. But you still have to understand that there are people that need to go out and work at the fried chicken and grenade stand. And I'm not saying that to shit on the people that own the fried, because a lot of people go, oh, you're an elitist, you're shitting on the fried chicken and grenade stand. Number one, I'm not, but that's what's going on in the country. Like, and I mean those types of jobs. It's not, the rich fucks don't need to go the fuck back out for the most part. It's people that work at fucking places where they gotta be there. You know, it's like the meat packing plant, which we gotta have a chain. Can't have the food supply, you know, interrupted by this shit. It's you know, we need to feed the country. We need to feed the country. And I know I live in California. Everybody thinks we could feed the country with like billion cubes of vegetable. We can't. People need to eat meat. They need to eat things that other people have killed, that large corporations have tortured. Put them in a thing, and then somebody, and this is why life sucks, somebody is going to have to put the meat in the package before you get it. And I know that's not nice to think about. I don't want to think about that. But it's okay, because listen, and then you can't tell those people not to smoke or not to drink. You got to let them live it up the way they want to live it up. Mm-hmm. If you work in a meatpacking plant, you do you. No, don't eat organic. Go to town. If you're unhappy, make yourself happy. Yes, there are better ways to do it. A long walk is probably better than a plate of chili Southwestern egg rolls. But guess what? Some people need that egg roll. I saw a woman, I was driving back to the house to do the podcast. I saw some woman like limping. She was like a decent, younger, good-looking person. She was like limping down Laurel Canyon and I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if a sex dungeon opened the doors and flung her out. But I'm like, what's this bitch going through? And now because of COVID, you can't pull over and even try to help them. And I wouldn't have done it before COVID. But now because of COVID, you can't. I could see a whole family getting lit on fire. I would just roll my window up and keep driving because it's the right thing to do right now because of the pandemic. You got to be a real hero now. Thanks, bus driver. Hey, thanks, bus driver. You don't take the bus. You don't give a shit about bus drivers. Shut the fuck up. You don't care about the people that work in a meat processing plant. You call them all murderers. You'd like their job to be fucking outlawed. If it was up to you, everybody would be putting edamame in their ass and there'd be no fucking meat packaging plant or whatever. But this is the way these motherfuckers have to make a living. They have to do this. It is what it is. It's not nice, but they're not qualified. You know, maybe they're not qualified to do other things. Did you ever think about that? That the person working in the meat packaging plant has to have a job and it can't be running Paramount Pictures? Maybe they're not qualified for it. Maybe they're not qualified to own a bank or to run a business or to own a restaurant. Maybe they can't be a carpenter. Maybe they can't sell cars. Maybe they can't be a medical assistant. Maybe they can't be a physician. Maybe they can't be a lawyer, a doctor, a cop. Maybe they can't work in a diner. Maybe they have to work in that meat packaging plant. And that's what it is. I would like, and by the way, if you work in a meat packaging plant, I'm not going at you. I'm not insulting you at all. What I'm trying to say is that you're being patronized by people that don't give a shit about you. Because we all work in these grocery stores, and half of us, this is what really people think. Do you want to hear the honesty of what's going on right now? Rich people want a vaccine so they can go back to treating you like shit. That's exactly what it is. They want to get pricked so they can go right back to walking to a grocery store and fucking treating you like shit. That's what they want. So this whole idea that, you know, the essential workers, this bullshit. And listen, I am not abusive to workers. Now, a lot of people will say that's untrue because of things that I've said before. I have never been abusive to someone at a restaurant that did not have it coming or that I wasn't trying to better as a person. I support you, which is why this bitch in Bristol Farms that keeps giving me a look is gonna get dragged because I want her to succeed. So when you give me an attitude, when you give me an attitude, I know that you don't want the best for you, but I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you in the back of the head with a loaf of bread, and your mask is going to come out, and you're going to lick the floor. And I'm going to make you lick the floor like you get COVID, like the scene from American History X. So here's the reality. These people should get paid. I called for it. I said, give them, cancel all the student debt for the nurses and the doctors. Go treat these essential people like government employees for this period of time. If you work at a place like Target or whatever and you're at risk, these people should be eligible for maybe low interest rate loans, a portion of their student debt too. I'm all for that. I'm all for all of that. But what I'm not for is the patronizing horse shit, because we don't care. I don't care. No, I don't really care about you. I want you to have money and survive, but I don't care about you. And you don't care about me. So let's cut it out. Obama doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. Chuck Schumer doesn't care. Amy Schumer doesn't care. No one cares. You barely care about your neighbor. You barely know their name. If I see my cousin on the subway, I walk to the other car because I just go, what am I going to do here? Oh, yeah, your mom's good. No, it's good. I saw you. I saw you. So this whole pretend caring shit it's an insult to your intelligence. I don't know you, woman at this grocery store, but I want you to have health insurance and money. But I'm not going to tell you I care. I care in the abstract about you. There's a lot of caring in the abstract in this country, you know? But no one gives really, I don't care. You're an essential worker now, which is great. And I appreciate that because you are doing an essential function for the moment. But as soon as that vaccine is here, do not kid yourself. As soon as that vaccine is here, you'll go back to getting open hand smacked in the face. If the deli counter doesn't have what these bitches want, it is what it is. I mean, I hope I'm making the point that I want to make here, which is not fuck these people. They're working their ass off. I'm for giving them a lot more. What I'm against is this fake thing that you don't care about. Can you stop? My aunt calls me. She's like, they shouldn't open the economy. People are going to die. You don't care. You don't care. Just stay in your house. You don't care about the rest. And I'm not a sociopath that doesn't have any feelings, but I'm telling you, Patrice did a bit about it where he's like, you can't care. There's so much shit going wrong in the world at any given moment. Your own survival depends upon you not caring about every little thing. Your own survival depends on you not caring about every little thing. You have to just get on with it and figure out a way to survive in this fallen fucking world. And you can support policies that help people. You can support all of that shit. But don't fucking this whole horse shit. Thank you, bus driver. Thank you, nurses. Thank you, food delivery people. Let me tell you right now. Everyone says the Postmates, the DoorDash people are essential. Let me tell you right now. If I could give the CEO of DoorDash, fuck Corona, if I could give him Ebola and watch him bleed out of his eyes, hemorrhagic fever, DoorDash is the most incompetent. I mean, best case, they deliver your food to someone else. Best case, someone else eats your fucking meal. And I'm going to have to pretend that DoorDash is an essential fucking service. They can't do anything right. I'm going to have to say everybody working at DoorDash is a hero. Because 2 months ago, it was a stoner who couldn't sell a screenplay, and now he's a hero. Because he's dropping off meatballs. Stop it now. You're insulting people, you're making them weak, and you're destroying them, and I refuse to do it. I refuse to be a party to your lies. Essential workers. Some yes, some no. Let's cut it the fuck out. Not every nurse is a fucking hero either. They're not. Some of them are. Some of them are great, and I respect the fuck out of what some of them are doing, especially if I get sick and I have to go to the hospital. The one that works on me, that's one that I really respect, and I support that one. But some of these other ones, I don't know. That's my whole point here. My whole point is that for our own sake and for the good of the country and for the good of these people, for the good of the essential workers, we have to begin to abuse them again. for the good of the essential workers. We need to get to a point where we can start opening our assholes and taking a shit on them. Because that's when you're going to know the country is beginning to heal. When we start treating the grocery store workers like garbage again. That's when you know that this great, disgusting country of ours, which is, I was going to say almost over. It's over and then some. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The hope in this country right now is that one of those essential workers, when they're walking back to their apartment, gets shot with a T-shirt gun on YouTube. That's their hope. That they get shot, that some narcissist who's got a YouTube following decides to shoot them with a potato gun full of money. That's their hope. That's the country that we've all created because we lie. We lie and we go, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, essential workers. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. I'm gonna bang a pot. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything, folks. But we've got to figure out a way to start opening things up safely, because the country cannot become a bunch of wino cat moms, and that's what we see, who's truly fetishizing and enjoying this to an unhealthy degree. These wino cat moms with like plaid sweaters, and they're sitting around and they're posting photos of their goofy parents. My parents are being so goofy. They're so goofy. Look, I made banana bread. Get the fuck up and get ready for the war. We're having a nuclear war with China in like 6 months. Wake the fuck up. I hope you like your fucking cat then. We're going to have a nuclear. What's funny is, when me and Ben started the show, the idea of us sitting in a room and where I would just scream about nuclear war at midnight was exactly what we wanted to create, that space. You know? But this is what I mean. The cat moms can't win. These morons can't win either that are walking around. You know, it's also, stop giving Candace Owens all your money. Stop donating. Listen, I know the drag stuff can be a little forced and it can get a little annoying. You're more mad at the drag show on HBO than you're mad at the people who didn't give you any money. The government shut down the economy, gave you $1,200. Trump's the president. What are you, dumb? You think Jared Goldman Sachs Kushner gives a fuck about you? Grow up, you dummy. They want you in the street. I want you in the street, and I have no money. I barely have nothing. People like Bill Gates wants to depopulate the world. I'm like, so do I. I just want to decide who goes. People that don't buy the Magic Spoon cereal is certainly not safe. That's that great Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks did a bit like that. I kind of forget it, but he was like, he's like, politics makes strange bedfellows. He was like, people were like, the Iraqis, they just want to cut off Bush's head and play soccer with it. Bill Hicks is like, he goes, that's what Saddam wants? They go, yeah. Bill Hicks goes, that's what I want. He's like, me and Saddam, we're like this, man. Strange bedfellows. You can't be overly panicked about anything. Don't be overly panicked about the chip that's coming into your neck. It's probably coming, but we're not going to be alive to see it. And all these liberty movements that are sprouting up around the country, in spirit, I'm with you, but what are you really doing? You know, let's truly be honest here. Is it liberty? Is it true liberty? Or is it liberty because you just want some version of Jesus fascism because that's what you want? You just want to be a slave to another thing that's insanely corrupt. That's the problem I have. The problem with the modern conspiracy movement is everything goes back to Jesus. Everything goes back to, it's a fight between good and evil. You're just turning your brain off. You get into conspiracies, you get into alternate history, whatever you want to call it, because you don't want to turn your brain off. You don't want to be shoveled, you know, this shit from the mainstream media and the government. You don't want to take everything they say. you turn your brain on. When you then take that and it all goes back to John 3:16 and Jesus, that means your brain is off again. You've turned your brain off and you're looking for solutions that make you feel good. And that's what bothers me about the modern, because it's blown up. It went mainstream. Conspiracy wasn't ever supposed to go mainstream. Most people can't handle it. They don't understand. Most people now, they're getting red pilled and they're figuring shit out, but they don't have any of the facts. They've never read a book. They've learned about American history through memes. They don't know anything. Their minds are melting. They don't understand nuance, and they're being taken advantage of by just charlatans and people who know that half the shit they're pushing isn't real. They know the QAnon shit. They know the people that are making money off this know there's not going to be 3 days of darkness, which ends with the arrest of some fucking celebrity. They know that. They know that. They're just, and the ones that don't, that's scary, but most of them know that. Most of them don't care. They're just figuring out a way to take your money because they're convincing you that for whatever reason, there's some big thing and you're in on it. You know it. You're in on it. And you're going to have a front row seat to all the justice. It's not going to happen. How stupid do you have to be to believe that a guy who had the top TV show in all of Hollywood, who is friends with the Clintons, who is friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who wouldn't care if his own daughter Tiffany was thrown out of a helicopter, how that suggested today that maybe chlorine might make sense inside of you to fight the virus. Like, this guy is leading a secret war to rid the world of Satan? He made his money with gambling and modeling. He made his money with gamblers and whores. This guy's trying to get Satan out of the world. When? When did he discover Jesus? His third or fourth marriage? I mean, I understand Nancy Pelosi sucks and you want to stick it to the liberals, but how dumb do you have to be? I want to be that dumb. I want to be that dumb to believe that that guy's the guy that's going to do it. The people that would do shit like that don't get elected. They have no money. The people that really care about the children tend not to build real estate empires with Russian mobsters who live in their buildings who are doing human trafficking. I mean, guys, at what point do you put the fantasies down? The reason you don't want to do it is because then you know it when you finally accept that you've been taken for, Christopher Hitchens made a great point about North Korea. He goes, nobody's joking around here. Nobody's talking about how bad it is. He goes, in every, fascist country, authoritarian theocracy he had been to, there was at least some joke or somebody looked at somebody else like, they're really fucking us here, But in North Korea, they didn't do that. And he goes, that was the most alarming thing about it is the lack of any of that sentiment. And he goes, he asked somebody why. And they said to him, they were like, listen, it's easier to go along with things than to admit your entire life has been a lie. I get it. When Trump's out of office, it probably will take another 4 years because they're running Biden. But who knows? He might, another thing. I mean, again, the economy, it's hard, incumbents usually win, but when there's breadlines, it might be tough, But the reality is, like, you have to, when he's out of office, you're going to have to say to yourself, we got taken a little. Got taken for right. And by the way, I don't think everything he tried to do was wrong. I think you need an immigration. I think I've been very clear. I think if he said what he was going, if he rolled back the carried interest loophole, which he didn't because Chuck Schumer and Wall Street got involved, but if he did that, if he gets more companies back to America, if he focuses on an economic policy that centers bringing certain manufacturing jobs and certain things back to America, incentivizing companies to come back here, I have no problem with that. Enforcing border security, I have no problem with that. He's done it in a cruel and inhumane and degrading way of separating families. I've never been for that, but I've always been for having a border, as most sane people are, okay? Not the cast of SNL, but most sane human beings understand why we need some type of border, okay? Okay, not if you're on coke every night and you're with other celebrities and everyone's doing coke and the only meals you eat are through your nose. I understand that you don't understand why we need a border, but most people do. And thank God other people are thinking, huh? Thank God you get paid money to bomb all the time, dressed up like a fucking Muppet. The point is this, folks. When Trump's out of office, there's a lot of people that are going to have to come to the realization that electoral politics doesn't work. We're a failed state, and it's dysfunctional. And the only thing, truly, if you want real change, if you want a country that actually functions, what you're going to have to do is buy the Magic Spoon cereal. Do you understand that? You have to buy. If you buy it and you eat it, you'll feel like a child again, and you'll cast aside all the racism and all the xenophobia and all the whatever, and you'll become that child that believes again. And it was through all of us believing and creating that reality that we can have a new country. But it will not happen. And mark my fucking words. Without the Magic Spoon cereal, we will be more chaos and death to a degree that even further. I mean, it's just going to be. You'll see people walking around snapping the necks of their pets in the middle of the street, or Magic Spoons. And don't buy a box or two. Buy a lot. Buy a lot. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you grow up, I paid attention to politics very closely when I was a child. I was in high school and a little bit of college, and you start realizing you're like, oh no, it's pretend, and people make a lot of money pretending, and I get it. Like I get that people need to I understand it. But what you don't understand is that the vaccine to coronavirus is the Magic Spoon cereal. It is the vaccine to the pandemic. If we all eat it, we'll get to a point where we can walk back into grocery stores and start attacking the people. We can start to choke out Uber drivers again. We can start to punch the delivery people in the face. We can start treating those essential workers the way we've all treated them by just, think about this. Think about it's a year from now. There's no new cases. And you see an essential worker, and you just splash a glass of your piss in his face. That's when you know. And he says, thank you. He goes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And you go, you like it? That's when you know. You know this country's back in business when Ghislaine Maxwell has a show on Bravo. She's one of the Real Housewives of New York, Ghislaine Maxwell. She's an international woman of mystery. I'm trying to think what her pull quote would be. She'd be like, a lot of people got a lot to say about me, but they don't know the real me. If they did know the real me, they wouldn't talk, because I'll have them killed. That's right. I'm Ghislaine. That's pretty much what we had to go over this week. For those of you in a bad spot, don't worry about it. Things are going to get better. Potentially position yourself in front of David Dobrik's t-shirt gun. Or embrace a world where no one really cares about you. Certainly not politicians. And go from there. Just go from there. Just wake up every day and go, yep, I'm all I've got. No one else truly cares. Maybe you find a band. Maybe you get a good friend. You should have like 3 or 4 friends, folks. Stop it. These cat moms that love the quarantine, they all have 1 trillion pretend friends. They got 1 trillion pretend friends. I'm telling you right now, small group, figure out what you can do. We'll all get to a point in this country when we can piss in the mouth of an essential worker, because that's the goal. And that's what Trump's thinking. You can't say it, but Trump's going like, when we can backhand an essential worker again, oh, we're going to feel good. Like everybody's like, what's the thing? Like, what are you going to do when you're out of quarantine? What's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to go to a restaurant? You go to the beach? The first thing I'm going to do is get in a fight with this bitch at Bristol Farms, get in a screaming match with her. Go, you knew. Don't roll your eyes. The Gravlax and the Smoke Sound, they're different. You knew it. And she's going to be like, my little brother's dead from coronavirus. And I'm just going to backhand it. And other people in the store are going to just give me a nod, and we're all going to be back, and we're all going to be dancing around and just fucking smacking people, throwing acid in the faces of nurses again. Get over here, you stupid bitch. That's what I used to say to nurses. I used to go to the doctor's office, and when a nurse walked in, I'd say, get the doctor, you stupid bitch. Now I can't because I might get coronavirus and I might have to be on a fucking tube or whatever they call it. So I have to treat them with respect. But what I used to do when the nurse walked in is I'd spit right in her face and go, get me the fucking doctor, you whore. What are you, a stripper? What are you, a stripper? You here to take your tits out? I'm a faggot. I don't even want that. So whoever ordered you, you're in the wrong room. Get the doctor, clown. But I can't do that now. But when we're able to do that, when we can go back to our old behaviors, if we could get on a bus, go right in a bus driver's face and go, you don't have the money, what are you going to do? That's when you know this great country, this country that I love you people think Satan's so involved in this country. Satan would be embarrassed by this place. Satan would run from this place. Very good. Satan would go here and go, it's the same reason that no big Hollywood person is offered to take this podcast and make it any better. Because Satan would have the same view of this country and this world that the Hollywood people have about this podcast. They look at it and they go, well, we really don't know what else we can do. You seem to have done it all yourself. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, live from Los Angeles, California. Hey guys, it's Ben Avery, the producer. We have a special treat for you tonight. It's the Best of Patreon Volume 1. So I went through 6 of my favorite episodes and found excerpts from them. And what we're going to play for you is just sort of the tip of the iceberg when it comes to everything we have behind that paywall on the Patreon. If you want to go find those episodes that I pulled stuff from, I will have links in the description. It's only $5 a month, patreon.com/The Tim Dillon Show. It's a way to get a bonus RSS feed that me and Tim put stuff out on. We have a lot of great episodes on there. Not even to mention, we have 145 archives of old episodes of the show. With interviews with CIA agents, Russ Baker, Nick Bryant. There's tons of stuff with Tim and Ray that's absolutely hysterical, along with a lot of other comedians. On the Patreon bonus episodes now, we're around 29 bonus episodes so far that feature Giannis Pappas, Chris DeStefano, Jessa Reed, and a lot of other comedians. Mostly it's just Tim doing solo, or Tim and Ray. So go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/The Tim Dillon Show. So I'm now going to play you 6 things I pulled from random Patreon episodes that I really liked. This first one is from the first bonus episode titled Bill and Hill's Last Kill. This episode was recorded on August 17th, 2019. This is one of my favorite episodes. Tim also has a great Uber story at the beginning of this, but I'm just going to play the part where he imagines Bill and Hillary celebrating the last kill they ever had.
Best case, these people know what's going on. Let's say Clinton never fucked any of the Epstein girls. Let's say that. I don't believe it, but let's just say it. Let's say it, okay? Let's say he never fuck the Epstein girl. Are you telling me he didn't know what was going on? He's a Rhodes Scholar. He's not an idiot. He's not a moron. People say George W. Bush is a moron. He wasn't a moron. He wasn't like the type of intellectual that had, he wasn't like a brilliant guy, but he wasn't a moron. These people have a savvy, pretty good understanding of the forces around them. It's how they're able to stay alive. It's how they're able to rise through the ranks. They understand the landscape quite well. And if Jeffrey Epstein is out there with a fucking island, he wasn't really keeping quiet about it, folks. He had his own island. You don't think there was chatter? What's going on that island? What's happening over there? The president of the United States knew. The ex-president knew. Okay? They all knew, folks. They all knew. And whether Bill and Hill, whether they didn't order a hit, that's probably not the way that it works. Hillary's not, texting somebody, go and whack this guy. But I'll tell you this. The people that they work for, the people that the Bushes work for, that the crime families that really run the country. Why do you call them crime families? Because they commit crimes. And then they cover up those crimes. That's why I call them crime family. Other than the good stuff they do, the stuff that we all know about, the corporate fraud and militarization of the police force and locking everybody up. That's all the conventional. We know they did that. That's the stuff they're allowed to write about in the New York Times. And, because that's all stuff that we don't doubt that. The private prisons and all that. We all know that's real. But the stuff that you're not allowed to talk about, Kid Fuck Island, that type of stuff, we always have some hard time believing that they knew what was going on or that they were participating in it. We're like, well, listen, we know that they take donations from people that lock up innocent children. We know that. And we know that they bomb aspirin factories in Sudan. And we know that. And we know that they intimidate and threaten women that they've tried to rape who come forward. We know that. We know that. And we know that a lot of the people that they do shady business deals with end up killing themselves by shooting themselves twice in the head. We know that. But there's no way that they would ever participate in something as gruesome as fucking underage kids. We draw the line there. That they wouldn't do. They wouldn't be involved in that. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. Because it's a great way to control people. That is why intelligence agencies have used that method of sexual blackmail forever. That is why the mafia has used it. That is why people, these operations have gone on throughout history. They're still going on. There's a new Jeffrey Epstein. There's a new island, folks. There's a new island, and it's bigger and better than the one. I bet you, and this is the great Rick Hump said this, the Catholic Church is probably like, why don't you let us go back to running this shit, please? Let's just get back to it. There's a new island now with fucking water slides where after you're done with the kids, they go right down the water slide into a furnace. Trust me. The new island's going to be bigger and better. They're going to advertise it. They're going to be like, if you like Little St. James, you got to come to Little Bo Peep. Little Bo Peep is the new island. Not Jeffrey Epstein. It's run by another guy. Josh Goldberg. Josh Goldberg runs a new island, Little Bo Peep. It's not going away. It's not going away unless there's a massive shift in consciousness, which is probably not going to happen because everybody's at Carl's Jr. You know? It is what it is. I'm not saying that, I don't want to sound like I'm like, I'm not, it's not like I'm like a perfect human being. I'm not going to Little St. James or whatever it's called. It was called Little St. James. But like, when I shit on the people at Carl's Jr., Carl's Jr.'s in all of us. The idea that you just want to go through a drive-through and get I get it. It's there. None of us are immune to that. But that is what that is the choice, essentially. Stay asleep forever, or wake the fuck up and realize that all of the people, or far too many of the people that you think are sociopaths who've done things that would keep you awake at night. That's all. That's all you should know. These people that sit down at Good Morning America. Oh, hello, how are you? Oh, it's a little cold today, isn't it? It's a little chilly. The fall. It's so nice. The fall. Those people, have done terrifying things, and a lot of people don't want to believe that because they don't really want to live in that reality, and I don't blame them because I'm certainly no better off for knowing what I know or having the conversations that I've had. But when shit like this happens, man, you gotta wake up. How dumb do you want to be? I mean, the people that whacked this guy are going, oh, wait a minute. There's people that are saying it's not even, they're saying there's no conspiracy. Like the people that designed this system have to be surprised at how well it works. They have to be like, oh my God, they're not, wait a minute. There's no riots. This is great. I mean, there should be riots. There should be 10,000 people outside of that prayer. There should be, and William Barr, or whatever his name is, I think it's William Barr, who's the attorney general, is like a CIA fucking Iran-Contra, good old boy. And now they're bringing in Baden, the forensic pathologist. He's involved with JFK and OJ. I mean, who's next? Kissinger? They're bringing Henry. We're getting to the truth. We're getting to the bottom of this, folks. We're bringing in the FBI, and we're going to put the whole investigation in the hands of Henry Kissinger because we want the truth. We want the truth. I mean, it's really laughable. It's incredibly laughable. The coroner said he's convinced that the Epstein is a suicide. Now they're saying there's all these irregularities with the jail, and they're like, yeah, well, they moved the prisoner out of his room 2 hours earlier. He was off suicide watch. The cameras don't point into the cells. We don't know. There were some irregularities in the prison. We don't know what guards were on that night. There was something weird with the scheduling, and it'll all be out of the news soon. It'll all be out of the news soon, folks. You'll be back to your regularly scheduled programming. The air will crisp up. Fall will be here. Football will be here. Everybody will be back to their right. And there'll be a Little St. James. There'll be a new island, bigger and better than ever before. Don't worry about it. Bigger and better. And the kids today are so fucked up. They're probably trying to get on the island. They're emailing. They're trying to get on. They want in. You don't even have to kidnap them, and they're volunteering. They're like, great. Watch a few Miley Cyrus videos, and they're like, this is great. They'll get on. They'll paddle to the island. Let me get a few bucks. I'll put Alan Dershowitz's scrotum on my face. That guy, huh? Man, what was it? Do you ever imagine what it was like when Bill and Hillary found out when they were sitting down? Like, you ever imagine that? I was tweeting about it and it was really funny, but like, do you ever really imagine like what, when they found out? Let's assume they found out on the news, and let's assume they didn't. Just assume they found out on the news. I'm not convinced, but let's assume they found out on the news. They are plugged in. There is a way they do get some info, but let's assume they found out on the news. I mean, what is their reaction like looking at each other? What is there? Because they're done. Here's the thing. They're done politically, the Clintons, and they know it. They're done politically. People make a lot of them. They're nefarious characters. But they're not running the show. People don't realize that. It's fun to pretend they are. They're just not. The system that they're part of will outlive them. It'll outlive the Bushes. It's designed to endure. It's going to be around, This shit still goes on, But I just imagine, Bill and Hillary. Do you almost like them more? I like them more that they're murderers. Is that my problem? I like them more because I could never picture them fucking, but I picture them murdering. And I'm like, that's what their love is based on. And that to me is a stronger and a better love. It's almost more pure. The need to dominate, power at all costs, covering your tracks. Now they're like protecting their legacy, protecting their daughter's ambitions, her political ambition. Can't have daddy go down in a human trafficking scandal. Chelsea's going to run. Chelsea's going to run for something. It's a matter of time. We love dynastic politics in this country. So that's what they're doing now. But I almost like them a little bit. I'm trying hard not to like them. And I thought of them like just cooking pancakes. Epstein's dead and, they're up in their estate in New York and they're just cooking pancakes and, they got some music on, maybe like Aretha Franklin or something. And they're just kind of grooving around like, Bill's reading the Times and he's got a cup of coffee and they just have 2 stacks of pancakes. Nothing smells better than fresh pancakes with some maple syrup and butter. And, and Bill's like, we never eat like this. We don't do this enough. And Hillary's like, we don't, and they're just sitting there and eating those pancakes. And there's a faint aftertaste of blood, Ever do that? Ever cut your mouth on a sharp food or something and you just feel that little taste of blood, just a little blood in your mouth? I feel like Bill and Hillary always have a little blood taste in their mouth. They like it, They're just eating the pancakes and, it's just they so close, but they dodged another fucking bullet. And it's probably the last one they have to dodge. They're getting fucking old. It was probably their last high five moment. And it's hard to not it's hard to not respect them a little bit and be like, you did it. You made it till the end. Now, of course, goes without saying, demons from hell. Goes without saying. But, there's something about that they did it. Get Fleetwood Mac, Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow up. This was the song that Bill and Hillary, when they won in 92, or was at the convention, like Fleetwood Mac played it. And put this on. Yeah, it's a great. I just feel like, they're up in Chappaqua. And they're just starting the groove. And Bill goes, it's been a long time since we cut a rug like this. And they just start dancing. And in the background, there's the television. It's talking about how Epstein hung himself in the cell. And they're just jumping around. And all these dumb cunts on Twitter with the blue checks already like, yes, Queen. And these conspiracy Nazis, they're just fucking trying to connect all these things. And Hillary and Bill are dancing because guess what? They never stopped thinking about tomorrow. They never did. And it'll be here better than before because they believe what that fucking screenwriter didn't. It's the little fucking things. You're going to do what you don't want to do, you dumb fuck. Okay? And you end up respecting them. Yes, they fuck kids and eat them and murder them and put them in a food processor and make a meatloaf out of them. Who gives a shit? You know what they don't do? They don't drive a fucking Uber. So guess what? I would vote for them over and over again now because they've proved it. They've proved they can make it happen in the fucking tightest security jail cell. Oh, fuck you. They did it. Bill and Hillary Clinton. They came out of the swamps. Those white trash, ranch dressing, eating Arkansas pigs. And they did it the old-fashioned way. Rape and murder. You know? And it brings a tear to your eye. It really does. Now, I know they're bad. I get it. I'm not an idiot. But when I think about them dancing in their estate, celebrating their latest kill, God, I shed a tear because they were my fucking childhood. My boomer parents loved them. My piece of shit, worthless family loved them. They were our future. And there's something about my childhood that it dies with them. And you know what? There's something beautiful about that. There's something truly remarkable about the way they did it, folks. They won. And there's something to be said for winning. And Hillary just sips that blood smoothie, pours hot sauce on an aborted fetus, and starts chewing a foot. And you know what? I know that it's not right. It's Stand By Me Up. And I just picture after the days, you know, they've had a long day. They were on the phone with a lot of people, you know, and talking to their friends and everything. And they're just looking at each other. And there's a light breeze. There's a light summer breeze. And they realize that they have a sadness. It's a bittersweet feeling because they look at each other and they don't vocalize it, but they know that there's a great possibility that this was their last kill. And they realize this was probably the last time they arranged a man to have his life ended, to protect Bill. And God only knows what she's into. And they realize it. They realize this is the last operation we've done. We've done a lot. We've done Vince Foster. We did a lot of people. There's too many to name. I mean, there's so many people. I mean, dogs have killed themselves that these fuckers have met. And there's just something so nice about I can't not think there's something beautiful about a couple that truly, truly loves each other in the real sense. Not the bullshit sense. You go on a cruise together. Oh, you raise kids together. None of that. I mean, you have enemies and you get rid of them one by one, you know? And I just think of them in their Chappaqua mansion. And maybe they're drinking red wine. They love red. They don't like white. They love red. And they're just kind of swaying, watching the coverage, rolling. You know? Maybe George W. Bush texts them a couple of emojis. He knows. Prince Andrew texts them. They text Prince Andrew back, LOL. Oh, they're happy. They're demons, but guess what? There are demons. And they'll disappear. The cleanse will disappear. with the Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich of the 1990s, one of the greatest things that's ever been, bacon in the ranch dressing. Oh, fuck you. They'll disappear with the great economy of the 90s, the pre 9/11. Just a careless, carefree boomer attitude. They'll just disappear and they'll fade away. But before they did, they had one last kill.
This next segment is from bonus episode 6, Put It on the Ham, where Tim tells a really funny story about growing up. And to lead into that story, it's going to start with Tim talking about the passing of the late, great Carl Ruiz.
It doesn't, we all have those moments where you look around and you go, I gotta get out of here, whatever here is.
Mm-hmm.
You might be at a party, you might be in a bar, you might be in a relationship, you might be at a job. You just look around and you go, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I gotta try to figure out how I got here. How did I get here?
Right.
And how do I get somewhere else? And Carl was a fucking character, man. He was very funny. He was funnier than most comedians, He was passionate about food, would review like, the Popeye's chicken sandwich. He'd review like fast food. He'd review everything. He loved working class people genuinely. He didn't pretend to.
Yeah.
He loved the food that they ate. He loved the places they hung out. He loved the bars that they went to. He spent a lot of time in those places. He would go and get, chip beef sandwich upstate. He'd go fucking all over the place. And he genuinely loved those types of people. There's a lot of people in my business that pretend to like those people on the left and the right.
Yeah.
Whether you're lean to the left or lean to the right. In entertainment, there's a lot of people who pretend to like working class people, which I never have, by the way. Thank you. Isn't that nice? I've never really pretended.
Yeah.
I've claimed to only be interested in the super rich, and I've been pretty consistent about that.
Yeah. You got integrity.
I mean, I've been pretty, it's like you're going to see me outside of a factory being like, don't close it. Like, what? No, listen, I like working with people. I love characters, and I want everyone to have health insurance and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the people that interest me are rich people. I've been very honest about that, because I think they're doing a lot of fucked up, wild shit. So those are the people that and not to say that I'm working class. All my friends are working class. Everyone I grew up with, I know is working class. So it's not like those are the funner people. Those are the people who want to perform comedy for, But Carl literally loved those people, man. Carl really cared about people. He cared about the guys that were line cooks. He cared about the guys that he stood next to in the kitchen. He gave a shit about all of those people. And it's just so funny because he didn't advertise it in the way that people do in this business.
Mm-hmm.
When they're like, I love the working class. Like, he never said that he just loved the working class. He
taking selfies with janitors.
He just cared about people.
Yeah.
And he cared, and he went to the places they hung out. And he loved, the food, and he understood it. And he was like he understood people's relationship with food, and that some of it was destructive. Some of it was, he got, I think to be fully, I mean, I since I was a kid, I've loved restaurants and I love food and the whole culture of it. And a lot of it mirrors the culture of drugs or excess or, anything. Mm-hmm. And there's rituals, there's, all that stuff involved in eating and in taking drugs and using drugs and drinking and sex or whatever it is. And Carl kind of understood, maybe better than so many other people, the role that food played, especially in the lives of people who didn't have a lot. And this was a fun thing for them to do, that food and drink was actually a fun thing to do. It was kind of this escape. It was a release. Mm-hmm. It was a place where even if they didn't have a lot of money, they could save some money to go to a nice restaurant, and it's an indulgence, and they enjoyed it. They could afford that. They could never afford a Maserati. Mm-hmm. They could never afford a house in the hills of LA. They could never afford a mansion, wherever and wherever. But they were able to go out and eat something good. And I was always a guy who the only things I ever did with money was go out and eat. So Carl got that. I think he understood that food was important to people, especially working class people, people that didn't have
enough, you know? And he had this whole thing Ruizing. It was hashtag Ruizing, which is RUIZ. I mean, I think a few days before he died or a week before he died, he was like on the Long Island Railroad heading out to Long Island, and he tweeted, will somebody meet me with a pack of cigarettes and some White Claw or something at the train station? And immediately it happened, you know? Like a guy was waiting for him as soon as he got off the train. But that's what Carl would do. There were no strangers in, you know, and I'll talk about this a little bit on the regular episode, not as long, but like that guy they were friends. Like, it sounds cliche and stupid. Like, oh, there are people that are that guy. There were no strangers. They were just friends he hadn't met yet. But that guy made friends with people. Mm-hmm. You know, he just wanted to hang out. He wanted to drink. He wanted to eat. And he wanted to laugh. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He didn't want to be powerful. He didn't want to abuse people. He didn't want to lord power over everybody. He genuinely was passionate about cooking, about laughing. And, you know, that's a fucking great example of somebody who really lives who they are. Like, you know, but it sucks because I would have rathered him be around for a lot longer, you know, which is why I think you do have to moderate that, dude. You can't go as hard all the time as you want to go. There's, you know, and I'm not, you know, he's a very successful guy. He's a very talented guy, you know, and he could have, you know, it's very sad that he wasn't around for as long as he could have been, you know, and I don't know the circumstances of his death, but I just do know that, you know, he was Ruizing, you know, he went out, he drank, he ate, he laughed, he had fun with people, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a shitty thing. You know, but I mean, that's all I can do is basically say to myself, like, I want to be around for a while, you know, and whatever that means, but I still want to have fun and I still want to be the type of guy that he was. I think you have to work harder at being fun. Like if you say to yourself, I'm going to get rid of the booze. I'm not going to be the guy that just eats ridiculous shit. But I still want to be fun. Like I still want people to like me. I still want to be funny and I still want to like be the life of the party to an extent. Like that might be a little harder, but I think you got to do it. Like I still want to have a personality, you know, but I don't want it to kill me. And so many dudes out there, it just kills them. We know guys, and not mentioning their names, we know guys, you look at them, you go, you're being killed.
Yeah.
You know, like who you are is killing you, you know? And you just fall into that trap, dude, of like not seeing a way out and not going, well, I've only been this. How am I going to be something else? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
it's tricky.
You know, I mean, that being said, put Greta Thunberg in jail. Put her in jail. Throw away the key. What did Trump say about her? He goes, happy girl, excited for a bright future.
Yep.
I mean, this is who you're putting in the K. Like, this is who you're putting in the Roman Coliseum with Trump, the 16-year-old Swedish girl. This is how deeply immoral our society is. The master troll, psychopath, Donald Trump, who has absolutely no feelings, who would feed his own kids to a fucking tiger if he needed to.
Yep.
And we're putting in the Roman Coliseum with him, we're putting a 16-year-old Swedish girl, autistic Swedish girl, and that's what we're going to do. Seems like not the move.
Oh.
You know? Seems a little ridiculous, but yeah, I'm bummed, man. I was going to fly back. I don't know if they're doing a memorial for him or something, but I was going to, you know, I got to be in LA, unfortunately. This thing about, but you know, I mean, this is what happens. Has any good friend of yours died? I mean, Carl, it wasn't like an insanely good friend, but I really did like him. What about any good friend of yours ever die?
No, not yet. No.
What about you, Ben? Yeah. I wish that for you, both of you. You know, it'll be me probably.
God.
You know, the only somewhat successful person either one of you have ever really met. Everybody else is just a complete loser. You can just go back to sitting on the porch, getting mad at people with 300 Twitter followers. It's ridiculous. But it is a wake up call, man. It's a wake up call. It should be a wake up call where you're just like, but he really did understand that. And that's what food is, dude. Food is a fucking drug. I mean, you're sitting in a fast food place. You open up this hot, warm, salty, fatty sugar, and you open it up and you just go, this is something nice. I've worked a hellish job. It sucked. And I'm just going to have this one thing that tastes good. I just want to have this one fucking thing right now that tastes good.
Yeah.
And so I could feel full, and then I can go to bed and I don't have to think about,
Yeah.
I just want to really.
It's such a small amount of time too, like that we give for like food. It's just a nice taste for 3-4 minutes, and you know what I mean. Like it's like not that long of a thing to indulge in, but we just we love it.
For a lot of people, man, it's the only indulgence.
Yeah.
They're not on their boat.
Yeah.
They're not on the boat going, this is nice. They get a few minutes a day at lunch, and when they get out of work,
Yeah. I almost never look at food as like fuel. I just want it. I just want something fun,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a lot of us, man. Especially when I stopped drinking, I started getting really into like dessert. I never cared about dessert. I always wanted to leave the restaurant and go to a bar.
right.
I didn't care. Then you stop drinking. You're like, oh, I'll have all the desserts because I just want to eat sugar now. You got to train yourself, man, and it's fucking sucks. You know, especially when you were raised with the attitudes towards food I was raised with, which I was raised by two people that exemplified the group of people, the boomers, who everything was convenience and what was easy. And if it was easy to just get a pizza from Pizza Hut or get fast food on the way back, and listen, in defense of them, they had jobs, they had,
Right.
it is what it is. They fucking, but when you're raised, dude, I was raised. I mean, these are the places that I ate growing up. Okay. I can remember them. I can remember all of them that I would eat, like I would consider somewhat frequently. McDonald's is one of my earliest memories for a lot of people, dude. For a lot of people, one of your earliest memories is that you're eating McDonald's and it's good and you like it. And then you ask your parents to go back and they got the play place and all the characters are fun and you're in McDonald's. McDonald's when I was a kid. Boston Market when I was a kid.
I love Boston Market.
Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was a kid. At Boston Market one day, I used to come in after dance class and I had this and I was like squeezed in this leotard and I was like just like newly fat body squeezed in like this purple and black leotard that made me try to look like a hip hop DJ.
Uh-huh.
And I was standing there and I used to sneak you would get two sides when you got your chicken or ham. I used to get ham. And I would sneak a third side on, which was cinnamon apples. But the way I snuck it on is I'd say, put it on the ham. And then the woman would put it on the ham.
You move it off.
I'd say, put it on the ham. And then I would get the beans and the mac and cheese. But I'd say, hey, put the apples on the ham. This is the way you would get a third. This is the way that you would get a third side.
Yeah.
In Boston Market. So I remember standing there and I was with my, just dressed like a hip hop DJ with my midriff, my little gut sticking out of my midriff. And there was a new woman there and she like barely spoke English. And I said, I want the cinnamon apples, but put it on the ham. And she didn't. She put it in one of the things. And I'd had a very grueling day at dance where I'd fallen a bunch of times. So I was like almost bursting into tears and I just started screaming, put it on the ham. What the fuck is wrong with you? Put it on the ham. And the two African guys in back of her that were carving the chicken started chanting, put it on the ham, put it on the ham. And I was like screaming and crying. And then this lady started crying because she didn't know what was happening. And then the woman who was a manager, always like a middle-aged white woman with glasses, she came over. And I explained to her, and she goes, well, we would charge extra for that, but we'll do it. We'll just put some cinnamon apples on the ham. It's not a big deal. And I was like, thank you. But now, no matter what I do, like whether it's a Netflix special, I always stand before I go on stage, whether it's Comedy Central, whether it's, Rogue, whether it's something important. I always say, put it on the ham, bitch, before I do. I'm kidding. I don't. But
this next excerpt is from bonus episode 7, Beverly Hills Cop, where me and Tim were just driving around in my Toyota up through the hills of Beverly Hills, making our way to North Beverly Park. And Tim is just talking about dark money and Epstein. And he's sort of getting back into the role of being a tour guide, which I really love. This is a really long episode. This is a 20-minute part from it I found super fascinating.
This is really, really wealthy. A lot of these houses, they start around $5 million. And then they climb pretty quickly into the 20s and 30s, and then even, there are estates in Beverly Hills that are 75 million, 80 million, 100 million. And I think there's a house on the market in LA, and I think it's Beverly Hills for 175 million. And, the person who owns that is a guidance counselor. And she just believed in her kids. And that's how she made that kind of money. No. People ask about this kind of money. They're like, where does this kind of money come from? Does it come from lawyers and doctors and the professional class accountants, stuff like that? Not really. This isn't really even CEOs of companies unless they're large, major multinationals. The reality here is the majority of people that are not in the entertainment business are in finance, or they're in tech, or they're in the extraction of natural resources. They work at an energy company, or they work in some... most of the war money is in and around Maryland and Virginia and D.C., which is why the top 10 wealthiest counties, I think 8 of them are right there. But some of those fuckers live out here too. Don't kid yourself. Some of these fuckers live right out here. But that's what people are doing to make that kind of money. There's not too many lawyers up here with $30 or $40 million houses unless they're in the top, 0.001% of all lawyers. So the professional class of people that kind of most people are familiar with don't live up here. A lot of this is foreign money. It's inherited money. It's descendants of royalty, tech on a very high level, CEOs of companies that are major corporations, major multinationals, or you have people that have private companies that you've never heard of that make oodles of money. Also, you might potentially have obviously actors, actresses, sports people, and this is an interesting one, Ben. The Black House. Nothing satanic going on there. They answer the door every day. They're like, Hail Satan, saw hello. We just passed a solid black house in Beverly Hills. Nothing good's happening in that basement, folks. Tell you that much. And as you walk here, obviously you see there are people polishing cars. And some of these houses are actually not impressive right here. These are some not impressive. Some of them are nice. But we're heading up into an area that's completely gated where we will be asked to leave and turn around because these people do not want people like me. We are driving right now in Ben's, what is this? It's an Avalon. It's an Avalon. It looks like an Uber. It's a nice Avalon. It's relatively new. How old is it? 2008. It's not new at all. I'm disgusted. I'm in this car now that I found that out. And I'm sitting in the front seat with a microphone, and we're heading up. And the houses are starting to get a little bigger. They were bigger as you go up the hill, the houses get a little smaller. They're bigger down by the base, and then they're big once you get to the top of the hill. But as you go up the hill, the houses are not nearly as impressive. I imagine these people are like the middle class. They make $5 to $10 million a year, which is the middle class. I don't think they make much less than $5 a year. Maybe they do. Maybe some of these people do make less than $5 million a year. But once you get up into the go fuck your mother money section, these are people who are making, I remember I told people that, David Tepper, who's a hedge fund manager, he bought all the stocks, financials. He bought all of those up with his hedge fund when they cratered in 2007. He sold them, or in 2008, whatever. He sold them in 2013. His hedge fund made $7.5 billion. His personal income that year was $3.5 billion. There are hedge fund guys that make $800 million a year, $300 million a year, You know what I mean? And I think that's what people don't realize. You feel it in your ears when you're going up the hill, don't you, Ben? So, I mean, the amount of money that is made, I think, is unfathomable. Chris Rock said once, he goes, if people knew how rich people were, there'd be a riot, which is true. Like, the amount of money when you get up here is crazy. And then you'd have to look up these people. You'd have to Google these people and go, how do they make this kind of fucking money? And I got on this kick when I was a tour guide in New York City, and I would show people a building. I would look at the average price of the building. I mean, the average price of the apartment in the building, and it would be like $20 million. I'd be like, well, what the fuck do these people do? Who are they? And then you'd learn really crazy shit. Like there was this woman, Louise Crane, that lived in one of these buildings. I think it was 820 Fifth Avenue she lived. Her family sold the paper to the mint that our money was printed on, that our currency was printed on. This bitch owned money. So now we are here at the top of the hill. We're at Beverly Park, the gatehouses. Let's do south. Oh, these are the gatehouses to get up into Beverly Park. This is the most expensive section of the country, other than, of course, Sagaponack in the Hamptons. Perhaps you've heard of it, New York. Shout out to New York and people that also hate me there. People that want nothing to do. But I have that hometown pride, even though those people would kill me. So now we're going to have to turn around, Benjamin. We go right to the gatehouse, Benjamin. See the gates? We're right up here at the gatehouse. Look at the view, Benjamin. Look at all the houses. Ben grew up in Texas in a bag of Fritos. And it's very nice for him to see this. It's very inspiring for him. Because he grew up in a house where they just ate bloody meat and they were like, Jesus saves. If Jesus catch you dirking off, he gonna kill you. And Ben was like, I'm sorry, mother. He was British. I'm sorry, mother. You see some of the houses, Ben? You see them. That is the Beverly Park over there. That's North Beverly Park. Let's go up to the gatehouse up here right at the end of San Ysidro. And the reality is the idea that I'm not welcomed into these communities is frankly disgusting. It's frankly disgusting because I've done nothing but entertain for free. So Rolls-Royce Phantom, Bentleys. Now it's getting bananas. It's getting stupid now. Stupid. This is stupid money. So now we're getting into some houses that are like, fuck you. Benjamin, you got to go back down that street because that was to the gatehouse. We got to go to the gatehouse. We got to go to the gate. Make them tell us no, Benjamin. Don't be poor. Be a rich bitch. Sing the Dee Antwoord song, Rich Bitch. I'm a rich bitch. But that's the thing about this type of money. It's actually fascinating to start looking up. And we're going to do more of that shit on the Patreon where we'll actually talk about some of these people because it is kind of fascinating and interesting how much money and how much power certain people have, which is why I think a guy like Sanders would be good to shake the tree a little. I don't know how much shaking the tree would matter. And I think if Bernie shook the tree, it might land on him. You know? A lot of people shake the tree. So now it's not a through street, but that's okay. Violators will be prosecuted. Trespassing. Doesn't matter, Benjamin. Keep going. Have balls. Now we are in the most exclusive area in the country right now, folks. North Beverly Park. Keep going, Ben. Don't be a bitch. Here's the gate. The gate stops us. I thought we were going to get in, Ben. Now just make the Yui. I thought we were going to get in. Gated community. But look at the house right behind the gate here. I mean, Disney World. You see it up in the tree? You can barely see it. You can't see it. Yeah. It's wild, dude. I mean, it's wild. They do not let you in here, and that's okay. But you can see them over there, the houses, the homes. These are massive estates, folks. These are massive. And, you know, I've been kept out of these communities. I've been denied. I've been literally shit on my whole life. People just open my mouth and they shit directly into my mouth. And I have to swallow that shit for many, many years. And all I've tried to do is go into wealthy areas. Now, what I will do, and Ben will tell you this, I will walk around in wealthy areas without gates. I get a cup of coffee, and I'll wear like sweatpants to look like I just woke up, and I'll just walk around these areas like Hancock Park that are rich that don't have gates. I guarantee there are areas that will have gates in California in 3 years because of me. The residents will get together and go, get that fat fuck out of here. we're putting up a game. Guaranteed, folks. Fucking-teed. It's a beautiful fall day here. If I could do it all over again, I'd just be rich as fuck, and I'd kill people. I wish I was fucking just crazy rich. But instead, I'm a creative genius. Fuck. Now we're in a cul-de-sac and it's a dead end. There are several Mexicans, and they're all looking at me and Ben because they know that we're not the type of white that belongs here. A lot of construction going on here. And listen, these areas are overbuilt. New York City's overbuilt. There's too much high-end shit on the market. There's not enough foreign money to pump into these markets. You will see, values decline to a degree in these areas because, especially once we head into the recession. But you've already seen wealthy people are starting to hoard cash because they know it's coming. They know before us what's going to happen because they make it happen to a degree. So they're already starting to hoard money and not buy these homes. But you got to remember, one of the real reasons that New York City real estate market did not suffer during the financial crisis is that domestic money was replaced by foreign money. And foreign people came over to America and they wanted to move their money out of Russia and China and the United Arab Emirates and Brazil and India. And they wanted to buy homes in New York and London and also Los Angeles to a lesser degree. And, London is a great financial capital that's halfway between New York and Asia. So London is number one. London is number one with foreign money. 60 to 70% of all new construction in London was at one time, and I'm sure it still hovers around that percentage now, going to people that do not live in Britain. They are not, they might have citizenship, but the majority is, a lot of them are foreign nationals without citizenship, and it's not their primary residence, and they're buying up, snatching up lots of real estate there. New York is second. There's a lot of people buying in New York. You get great return on your investment in a city like New York and London. You could let it sit vacant and it'll just appreciate in value. If you buy an apartment, you could also rent it out and you get a lot of money. And none of these people are buying it under their own name. They're buying it under the name of a shell corp, which is a corporation that is set up really primarily to invest in real estate. Also private companies, but a lot of times it's real estate. And why do people use a shell corp? So that they are not on the hook for taxes, that they can kind of launder money in these cities through real estate. And the extent to which real estate is used for money laundering is pretty well known, but it's only intensified over the last decade. Slowed down a little bit now, but you want to talk about, how crazy it was going. Right after the financial crisis, people came over here and just started buying. And that's where you get into things like the Panama Papers, and the person that released the Panama Papers is now dead. I forget how, probably a bad cold. And the Panama Papers were an explanation of this other financial system that wealthy people had set up for themselves, where they put their money offshore. And, the New York Times, to their credit, actually ran a great article that was pretty complicated that very few people read, that was about how people, especially wealthy people, route their money through companies that don't exist so that they can pay corporate tax rates. And these companies don't exist, and they have addresses, but there's no employees and there's no offices and they just exist simply to kind of clear money. They're like a clearinghouse of money. I'll post some of these articles on the Patreon because I would imagine some of the people that are listening to this are a little smarter than the regular people. We're over 100,000 downloads on the episode now. So there's a lot of different kinds of people listening to the show that are into all kinds of different shit. You people are probably a little bit smarter. Now, not all of you. Let's rein that in. Let's roll that back. There's many people here that are not, but there are a few people that want to read some of these articles. So we will post them. It's a great article. It's a dense article. It's a long article. But you start to look at what a separate financial system looks like. Because it's really completely separate for people at a certain net worth. And I think at a certain net worth, You just start to spend time with people that just kind of piss in your ear. I'm not even talking about people that are making $5 million a year. I'm talking about serious money, intergenerational wealth, where this is just the way things are done, and there's all kinds of people that make money showing you how to shield yourself from taxes and accountability. And guys like I forget his name. I think it's Aneet Agarwal. Agarwal's his last name. I forget his first name. Who bought an apartment at the Time Warner Center. This is a very controversial mining magnate who like poisoned a river in Zambia. And he, so what you have, you see two girls there standing in front of a pink house with pink hair. Is that Doja Cat? We're hunting for Doja Cat. We want to find the cat. Where do you think she is, in Jollibee? But what the whole thing is, I want to flesh out some of this stuff because this is, by the way, this is the key to Epstein. This is the key to Epstein. And I want you to start thinking about this in a more broader context than just pedophiles and Satanism and human sacrifice, which, by the way, all probably happening. Why did you stay there, Benjamin?
Rich Eisen
Ben stayed. Oh, that's where Rich Eisen used to live?
Yeah, for like 2 months he stayed there when they were renovating their house.
Ben is one of the slaves for the Eisen family and was for many years. Good for him. This is what I want you to think about Epstein in a more broad context of human trafficking, obviously. Pedophile, blackmail, obviously. But what Epstein did, I think, and from people from Whitney Webb, who I've spoke to, who's done a lot of great work on it, and from a lot of people that I've spoke to, both on and off the record, they believe Jeffrey's main, other than the blackmail and all of that stuff, they believe one of his main functions was washing dirty money, laundering money. Okay? It wasn't only the type of money that would be earned from human trafficking, but you're looking at narco-terrorism, drugs. You're looking at, God only knows the kind of corporate malfeasance he was tasked with making go away or cleaning up in the financial system, finding places to put the money, finding places for the money to go. You got to remember Les Wexner, who was Jeffrey Epstein's mentor and good friend and gave him his mansion in New York City and gave him, Les Wexner was questioned, his attorney or accountant, I think his accountant, was going to testify about offshoring profits. He was going to testify about offshoring money. And he was shot in the face before he was able to do that. He was killed in broad daylight in a mafia-style hit. So this issue cuts right to the core of what we're talking about. So it's like we're driving around Beverly Hills and you're like, well, how does that connect to everything? Well, it connects to everything, actually. It is everything. It actually is the core of everything because there isn't only one illicit stream of money. There are many illicit streams of money that are not accounted for, that are not taxed. The CIA uses illicit money, black budget all the time because they do things that they don't want to. Sorry, Brian Callen. They do things that they don't want the Senate Intelligence Committee to know about. That's why they bug the Senate Intelligence Committee. That's why they've admitted to spying on the Senate Intelligence Committee because they don't want the Senate Intelligence Committee to know what they're doing. So they want to know what the Senate Intelligence Committee knows because they do underground activities, the CIA. So when you talk about the illicit streams of money that guys like Jeffrey Epstein direct and manage, and you look at the amount of people, not all of them pedophiles, some of them just regular crooks. They're regular old crooks. And so then it gets very messy, right? So now you're talking about Epstein, right? So we talk about like, well, what happens if Jeffrey goes in and sings? Is it just people that have been to his island that go down? Or does he hold the key to a lot of nefarious activities and a lot of bold-faced names and a lot of powerful people that are beyond the scope of even that island? You know what I mean? And I think the reason that you can't let Jeffrey sing, obviously, You can't let them talk about politicians diddling children on an island. That is no good. That is a problem. But the other reason is because I don't think the press can truly get a whiff of how insanely corrupt the financial system is, how many people are benefiting from it, and the role of guys like Jeffrey Epstein are kind of these cowboys that are somewhat rootless. He blows around the globe. He's friends with everybody. He's friends with Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia. He's friends with political leaders in the United States. And yes, a lot of it is probably, pedophilia and stuff like that. But you got to realize nobody's a pedophile that's also refused. Like, nobody's a pedophile but doesn't cheat on their taxes is what I mean. Like, if you're doing that, you're probably open to drugs and cheating in any way that you can, and illegal arms dealing. That's why he's friends with Kagashi. And, Kagashi, this huge arms dealer, Epstein was good friends with too. So there's this whole underground economy where you have illicit streams of money. You have capital that needs to find a home, and you have guys like Jeffrey Epstein. So as much as it is about this island and it is about the appetites of the wealthy, enough! These people are getting out of control because now we're back down in the area where you have, some of the poor here. And I mean poor, meaning BMWs, like 3 and 5 series. No good. Very aggressive. They're striving. They're climbers. They're trying to get to the top of the hill. And they're in a rush. People at the top of the hill aren't even in a rush. They're not even home. They don't even exist. Go to a rich area, you never see the people. Because they maintain multiple properties. They're somewhere else. Here's a couple of just nice autistic brothers walking around, counting blades of grass. God love them.
Jumping to bonus episode 26, Steyer Stan. In this segment, Tim talks about the healthcare industry and what we'd have to do to actually get people to be healthy in this country.
This is this is me now. I'm going to run, Ben, and I want you to ask me questions that you hear people asking. I'm going to give you my real answers. I'm on the stage. I'm running. Tim Dillon is now running for the presidency of America. I want you to ask me real questions.
Okay. Tim Dillon, what is your proposal for our immigration policy that we have right now in America?
Here's the reality of the situation, folks. There's a lot of boomers that are retiring. Somebody's going to need to wipe their ass. We're going to shove them into assisted living facilities, hopefully immediately, hopefully by force. We're going to need people to go in there, drug these boomers up. They're going to be drooling and shitting all over the place. And we're going to need somebody to do it. I don't really want to do it. Many of my lazy friends are probably not going to do it either. So we need some immigrants to just chain my parents and your parents to their beds so that they can piss and shit themselves until they die. Now, that being said, we can't let everybody in because that would break the economy. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to bring immigrants in that have the skill set to chain my Aunt Kathleen to a chair in an assisted living facility and beat her. We're going to give them all Facebook. We're going to give them all Facebook and let them scream into the void. So we need some immigrants. But we can't have everybody. Next question.
What is your plan with healthcare in America? It's a real ongoing issue. A lot of people aren't covered. They're in medical debt. How do you seek to rectify this whole situation?
Here's what we're going to do with healthcare. Here's what you really have to do, by the way.
Yeah.
This is what people don't want to hear. You're going to have to outlaw Denny's and IHOP and Carl's Jr. You're going to have to put the military around Carl's Jr. I'm actually dead serious now. You're going to have to put people with guns outside of Popeyes and Carl's Jr. You're going to have to outlaw buffets. You're going to have to outlaw breakfast cereals that literally deliver more sugar to the brain of a child than they should have in their entire existence in a sitting. We could give you free healthcare, folks, and you should get it. Healthcare should be a right. But, if we don't, we're going to have to just go in there and we're going to have to tell people that they have to stop
with the food and the booze. I mean, I don't know that anybody wants to hear this. You're gonna have to get like a card where you get to go out to eat. You get to go out to eat. Like we're gonna have to run the country like Weight Watchers, except it's gonna have to be enforced by the prison system. Like if you go over your points, we're gonna have to put you in jail. Like if you go over your points at Weight Watchers, we're gonna have a Stasi like police force drag you out of your house and throw you in prison. Because all the healthcare in the world is not going to work when Denny's is slinging salted caramel, banana cream, French toast to 400-pound people in San Antonio. It's just not going to work. Literally every theme restaurant in the country is trying to kill everyone that lives here. Literally every single. I mean, the menu at get the menu, get up the menu at Denny's. Just get up the menu at Denny's. Like, this is the real, nobody will do this, by the way, on stage. Like, nobody will go, let's take a look at, I want that candidate who goes, yeah, great. Yeah, healthcare, that's all bad. But let's look at the menu at America's Diner. Quote, their words, America's Diner. Let's see what we have.
You want to see featured items first?
Let's go to fluffy pancakes, okay. How we start our day. This is how America starts our day. This is how we start the day. Please read us some of the offerings, Benjamin.
Classic Tres Leches pancake
Tres
breakfast.
Leches pancakes, cinnamon roll pancake breakfast, salted caramel and banana cream pancake breakfast. That doesn't even sound good, by the way. Go to salted caramel banana cream pancake breakfast. Let's view the item now. Buttermilk pancakes. Now read this. By the way, in Europe, like this would be illegal and people would be sent to jail if they would firebomb a restaurant that tried to serve this. By the way, it's almost hilarious discussing healthcare and leaving out all of this, right? Let's read the description of the item. Buttermilk pancakes cooked with shortbread pieces and topped with vanilla cream, banana, and even more shortbread pieces. By the way, that is literally their quote. Serve with a pitcher of warm. Hold on. Serve with a pitcher of warm salted caramel for drizzling. Serve with two eggs, hash browns plus 2 bacon strips, or 2 sausage links. And I bet you could turn that or into an and. Nutritional facts. How many calories, Benjamin? 1,430 calories. Okay. Let's look at something else. Let's go to the double berry banana pancake breakfast because this looks good as fuck. Buttermilk pancakes cooked with blueberries and topped with fresh seasonal berries, bananas, and whipped cream. Served with 2 eggs, hash browns, 2 bacon strips. Okay, this is their healthy meal. It's only 1,000 calories. How much is the cinnamon roll breakfast clocking in at?
1810.
1810. Let's see what 1,810 calories are. Buttermilk pancakes cooked with cinnamon crumb topping and topped with whipped cream. Serve with a pitcher of warm cream cheese. Serve with a pitcher of warm cream cheese icing for drizzling. Plus 2 eggs, hash browns, bacon. Guys, what healthcare? Let's be honest. What healthcare program is going to compete with America's Diner? 1,800 cinnamon roll pancake. Everybody in this country should be forced to smoke cigarettes in a health initiative right now. There should be a health initiative called Light Up. If it even staves your appetite off for a minute. Now go to the Grand Slamwich, Benjamin. Find the pièce de résistance, the Grand Slamwich. The Grand Slamwich. By the way, this is a bigger threat to our country than terrorism has ever been. Let's find the Grand Slamwich. The Grand Slamwich is my favorite.
So it might not be in super sandwiches. It's not there.
Oh, it's not in super sandwiches?
No.
Maybe featured items? Classic breakfast faves? Go to classic breakfast faves. Right there. Yeah, I think we're getting to the. Yep. Now go to the Grand Slamwich. What do we got here? 1,150 calories. Listen to this, folks. Listen to this. By the way, it looks like someone vomited on bread. Scrambled eggs. This is my favorite. scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon, ham, American cheese on potato bread, grilled with a maple spice spread, served with hash browns. So here's the thing with healthcare. I mean, folks, what are we doing? Like Denny's, IHOP, go to Carl's Jr. Google Carl's Jr. You want to talk about healthcare? Like it's one thing, it's an immoral healthcare system, but I mean, I hate to say it, but we're going to need to put the military outside of Carl's Jr. Let's see the different burger options, because I think one of them has 4 or 5 patties on it.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Let's see.
Sorry, we have a little traffic here. We're sitting out on the new porch.
Let's look at the Western bacon cheeseburger.
What are we looking at on the Western Bacon Burger? Do they give you calorie counts?
No, the thing isn't loading on their website here.
That's convenient. This website is run by Acronym that brought you Shadow.
Oh, here, I got it now. You have to add the item.
Okay, but go find the one that has 5 patties or whatever it is.
The Big Carl or it's the really big
Go
Carl?
to the really big Carl. How many patties on the really big Carl?
This one's got 3.
3 patties on the really big Carl.
Let me add it to my cart.
Add the really big Carl to the cart.
Okay, hold on. This is great. How do you add it again? This one is not letting me add it.
Here's what I think people need to realize here. It's like people talk about like the weapons industry and the pharmaceutical industry, but the food industry, like fast food and fast casual food. Now, many people know about me. They're like, oh, Tim, you're fat, but I'm steakhouse fat. That's still bad. Still bad. I'm not Carl's Jr. fat. Like I didn't get fat at Carl's Jr. I got fat. If you come to my live show, we talk about Wendy's, we talk about the Hut. But I mean, this is the problem with healthcare. It's like, and dude, forget soda. Forget that. I don't drink soda. I've never drank anything with bubbles. I just don't like carbonation. But think about the amount of people that are eating this food day in and day out. You know, it's kind of a nightmare. And I'm a freedom guy. I want everyone to have freedom. But at what point do you say, if we're all on a program, right? Like if we're all on a healthcare program, a public option, at what point do you say, like, you can't go out and have a big Carl every day at lunch? You can't have a big Carl. Should there be a card that you go to use and they go, no, you've had 2 big Carls. You've already had 2 big Carls.
And a really big Carl.
Yeah, you've had a really big Carl. Yesterday you had a really big Carl. Today you came in here to have a big Carl. Like you can't do it. You can't eat Tres Leches pancakes in the morning. You know? Go to the unhealthiest items in America. God. I mean, the Cheesecake Factory's got a bunch. I mean, we won't do the whole episode talking about this, but like there is just this idea that personal responsibility is completely vanished from like anything and that nobody's responsible for anything. Yeah, let's read some of these.
Okay, 15 highest calorie restaurant meals. Buffalo Wild Wings, we got 15, the cheese curd bacon burger.
Dude, that's vomit inducing.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, cheese curds are disgusting. I'm sorry if you're from that frozen tundra up Wisconsin with all those cucks, but they're disgusting. And they put deep fried cheese curds on top of a bacon cheeseburger. 2,000 calories. I mean, dude, it's not even good. I love Outback Steakhouse. Herb roasted prime rib is next. Look at that big fat slab. My mother loves that. 2,400 cals. IHOP cheeseburger omelet with pancakes. I mean, if you go to another country and you showed them this food, literally, if you sat down with someone in Belgium, if someone started to make this food, like this is why Asia's getting fat because they're now getting our fast food and you're seeing like fat Asians for the first time. But like other European countries, everyone talks about these socialist countries like Denmark and Norway. Here's what they're not doing. They're not slinging cheeseburger omelets and tres leches pancakes to the population. By the way, for a very like low price, this is not expensive.
No.
You can go in and kill yourself for $9. Shake Shack, keep going down. Listen to this: Sonic's Pineapple Upside Down Master Blast Shake. By the way, gross. Vanilla ice cream, pineapple, salted caramel, and pie crust pieces. This is the thing, folks. This is not even good. It doesn't taste good. Like, that's what I think people do. And I guess people are just so upset. And they don't realize that literally you're ingesting poison that isn't even enjoyable. It's a literal drug. And Dave & Buster's Carnivore Pizzadilla. It sounds like an attack. It doesn't even sound like food. 2,000 calories. A giant quesadilla stuffed with manchego, cheddar cheese, pepperoni, sausage, smothered in more cheese, pepperoni, sausage. Me and Ben were in Vegas, and we walked past the Heart Attack Grill, which is where people die while eating there, and they're proud of it. And you're looking at people sitting in this place eating butterfat milkshakes and like 6 patty burgers. And it's like, it's become as big of a problem as the opioid crisis. Now, it's not as expensive as heroin, so no one's killing you. No one's stabbing you in the street to go get tres leches pancakes. But remember when Mike Racine, funny comic out of New York, had a great joke about this. He's like, remember when Michelle Obama was like, we should all eat salads? And then one fat white woman was like, but I feel beautiful the way I am. And we're like, all right, yeah, fuck the salad initiative. Yeah. Lena Dunham's like, no, but I'm bootyful. Everyone's like, okay, you're right. Everyone got so mad that Michelle Obama was trying to feed kids broccoli. Remember that? Yeah. People were like, she's a communist. She's trying to make these kids, because she just didn't want like people eating Whoppers for lunch.
Bonus episode 27, live from Toronto. This was recorded last week. Tim and the great Raymond Kump performed the podcast live. I hope you enjoy this segment.
I mean, would you prefer royalty to what we have in America now?
I mean, what would you even call what we have?
It's like rape royalty or something.
Yeah. I mean, what we have now is it's kind of as close to professional wrestling as it's ever been. I mean, it's pretty just people hitting each other with chairs up there.
Right. I mean, how great would it be, though, if, like, we had to, like, literally put a crown on Trump?
Yeah, I mean, that would be fun. What people don't get is it's like, it is the ruling class is just losing power.
Yeah.
And it is wild to watch. Like, they don't know what Michael Bloomberg's trying to buy the like, everybody's just, they don't know what to do anymore. They're just spending all this money. They don't know what to do.
There's nothing to do. I don't know what people think is going to, like... This is fucking over. The West. I'm not saying like in a way like, all right, the Chinese are taking over, like, and like white men can't. Not that shit. I'm just saying we've been scamming everything for 200 years now. It's done.
You had it. We had a run. We had a good run. We had a nice run.
I don't know how you're gonna balance the books now.
Yeah. It's like I had a kid last night in the show. He's like, I'm majoring in social work. I'm like, you're going to help? What are you doing with that? Like, social work?
What is social work? Putting people in a mass grave?
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Like, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. It's some kid getting burned with cigarettes, and then you walk in. Me and you would make it so much worse. The kid would be like, my parents hit me. We're like, 9/11 didn't even happen. You're whining about your parents.
I mean, it's like let's have some fucking homeless heroin addict and be like, let's do your taxes. We're just all like poisoned and rotten.
Because that is what social work is. It's like some junkie on the street, and it's like, there's a deduction.
Let's do a questionnaire to see what you're good at.
Let's do a questionnaire. What would you like, right, when they have to sit down with them and be like, what do you want to accomplish in this program?
Really itchy right now.
What would you like to accomplish in this program, sir? It's... listen, we kid, but, God love everyone. And it's a real problem out there. It's a real problem. Trump will probably win again. I'd imagine he would.
look, Bernie Sanders has a messianic thing going on, and he's
good. We like him.
I like Bernie. He's lovable. I don't think he'll get anything done, but it's not his fault. It's just
not his fault. They'll kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what it is. Like, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, it's where we live.
I don't understand about the left is that you have. It's like they're just gonna start. Like you have the institution of whatever you want to call it, the deep, whatever the fuck you call it, the Illuminati. They start wars whenever the fuck they feel like it, and you're trying to give away your assault rifles.
Right.
Like what I don't understand because like I'm so sick of seeing like resist on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like resist, vote Bernie. It's like they got. Who are you resisting with a fucking tweet or a fucking like Antifa? Like,
shoot people, right? That's what we're saying.
I got a fucking dustpan. I'm gonna hit you with it. Like no, like.
But the other problem is that all the pro-gun nuts say they don't want to give up their guns because they're like, well, it's if the government gets tyrannical. It's like it's tyrannical now.
Yeah, the only reason.
If you're gonna shoot anyone, start now. This is an entertainment show. The whole show's entertainment. It's an entertaining show. It's entertainment. It's not.
The only I don't care about home defense. I think you shouldn't be able to have a gun for home defense. I want you to be home invaded and be cucked in a weird scenario. I don't care about that, but I do like the idea of like overthrowing a government. I think it's nice. I think it's at least in America. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about it, but like that's how we were raised.
Nobody's gonna do that in America because everyone's too fat.
Exactly, and the only people who are doing it are like defending racist statues.
Right.
Like they're literally like militias.
Yeah, it's
like
it.
3%ers.
It's the only thing they care about is a racist statue.
To like the Robert Lee statue. Go, you're not taking our goddamn.
They're like, you can fuck our kids, but don't touch that Robert E. Lee statue. Don't you dare. That's our heritage. That's our goddamn history.
I mean, if these fucking hillbillies just marched for like health care, they would let them keep the guns.
It's so true. They never bring the guns out for anything good.
Yeah.
They're never like, clean up the planet with the guns. They never march around with AK-47s.
Give Beyonce a Grammy.
Yeah. She deserves it. What about the state of popular culture and music? I mean, you were making electronic music now. Many people don't know this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I dabble in it. I'm not, but actually, that reminds me. When Diana died, I was listening to techno music on a radio station. It was like the princess is dead, and it just started back into like boom, boom, fuck, shit, piss, cum, you're a piss pig.
The princess is dead.
But yeah, I dabble in it. But no, look,
do you see yourself becoming a DJ like Skrillex?
I need to find. Maybe. I mean,
Or,
is he one with the mouse head?
Armin van Buuren. I don't know these people. Steve Aoki, the guy who looks like a wizard.
I feel like I have this vision of me like DJing, and I'm like I'm dressed like a baby, and
how do you dress? How do you dress like a baby?
I'm in a diaper, and
you just say you're in a diaper. I mean,
I have a bonnet too, but I'm like, I have a setup where I'm like my arms are going through a thing, so like I look like I'm in a crib, but I'm spinning records.
I got to be honest with you. This sounds amazing.
Because you need that. Like
that's a thing where if that was happening in L.A., I'm not even kidding. If you walked in, because LA's so nuts and everyone's on so many drugs, that if they just saw you in a big cage doing that, people would be like, yo, that's Baby Comp. That's DJ Baby Comp.
I mean,
be like, fuck, really, man? Whoa.
There's that guy with the rat head.
Yeah.
Or Dead Mouse or whatever. He's rich.
Yeah, he is rich.
So yeah, I mean, but the state of music today, I mean, it just seems like a Gregorian chant for like molesting children. It's like,
it's really bad.
I want to fuck your dad and suck on his tits and use me like a toilet, and then like,
I'm your toilet. Would you like Doja Cat though?
Look, Doja Cat is just like the whole thing crashing.
Yeah,
it's like the simulation just being like.
It's a good song, that Juicy song. Keep it juicy.
Yeah, like,
juicy.
keep it juicy, juicy.
Do we have the ability here to play music? No? No. Good. Phenomenal. Just out of curiosity. I knew the answer, but I was going to treat everyone to a song, but...
I mean, I don't want to be the old fogey or whatever. Is that offensive now to say?
Smile.
Hello.
Don't worry, he bites.
I'm a photographer. What kind of camera is that? I'm just kidding.
I'm a photographer. You want me to show you how to take a pretty picture?
I used to photograph weddings and bar mitzvahs, sweet 16, everything. Anything you want. Bar mitzvahs are great. What, you anti-Semitic? All right. So it's not mutually exclusive. I bet plenty of self-hating Jews.
We found a self-hating Jew. And I love all because she doesn't want to photograph bar mitzvahs, which no one wants to run around a party and photograph another
I knocked
family.
over a woman at a bar mitzvah once.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, what's her name again? Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish.
She's no Whitney Houston.
No. Whitney Houston was maybe the greatest singer of our time.
Right.
And you still end up dead in a tub. You'll never not die in a tub. That's the point. You go to Hollywood with all these big ideas, you die in a tub. If you're lucky.
We don't want, like, there's no aspirational art anymore.
No.
We don't want that. We want, like,
Somebody we could do it.
I want, like, some amazing, not even amazing story. I want something decent that randomly came out of a dying cancer patient's, like, notebook.
Right.
And then, like, oh, that guy's also a junkie. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what we want.
no one wants to be like, oh, I have to, like, spend 10 years, like, doing vocal lessons.
Well, it's like even Lizzo, who's good, but she's not great.
No.
She's not
It's
great.
all, like, look,
Marketing.
I don't care if she's fat, but, like, it's the whole thing. Look how proud of her fat body she is. She's a gem. And, like, I don't care, but, like, who gives, like, no one's, like, what is this for? Like, what is this? They're trying to keep us as, like, cattle or something. Like fat cattle. Like the government wants me to be fat.
Yes.
And like wants me to have rotten teeth. That's
Yeah.
why they fucking made me drink Diet Coke every day.
Lizzo's gonna have a song soon. My teeth are rotted.
Bitch.
Do you have dental cement? I want to perform my own operation on my tooth. Why my tooth all fucked up?
I also need 2 more. But whatever. There's more.
At
There's more
McDonald's,
teeth.
what is a good thing to get that we cannot get in America? What? No, not.
Wait, they
dude.
have poutine here?
What'd you say?
What?
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing with the poutine. I'm not getting it at McDonald's. I mean, that seems fucked up. Yeah, Montreal. Yeah. That's the other festival that's not in the homeless shelter.
What is poutine? Like French fries with cabbage?
It's French fries, cheese curds, and like gravy. It's pretty good.
Right.
It's not the greatest thing. What else is Toronto known for? A lot of Middle Eastern food, right? Steak. They have a lot of steak houses here.
Oh, nice.
They do have a lot of steak here.
A nice, well done steak.
Nice, well done,
Nice
grizzled
fucking
piece
charred-
of charred
While
piece
someone
of beef.
smokes into your fucking eyeball.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Here's your, and then, yeah.
Yeah. Here's your charred beef, and they'll put you in jail if you say the wrong thing here.
They'll put me in jail for fucking being fat.
Yeah. Well, they should. They absolutely
Look,
should.
I just want to be in a cage.
Yeah. He was so excited. I'm like, you might go to jail. He's like, oh, good. He's like, can we arrange this so that I do go to jail?
I'm not like into like. I don't want to be used like a toilet, but
Right.
I don't know.
But the greatest part of that,
power.
the greatest part of that sentence was but. You're like, I don't want to be used like a toilet, but.
Last but not least, bonus episode 8, It's a Vibe. This was one of my favorite moments from any of the Patreon episodes where Tim talks about how easy it is to be a recording artist. And he's just talking about Billie Eilish and this guy he met in Houston. I just love this little chunk here. Enjoy.
A lot of people from my high school graduate, people seem to be closer with people they met in high school than college.
Yes.
Because you go back, I guess, to this hometown and stuff. And many of the people that I was friendly with in high school, I don't really talk to anymore, and they don't reach out to me because they're intimidated by my fame. And I remember the last time I went back to Long Island, I was trying to get a bagel, and I was inundated with people that wanted pictures with me, and they wanted my autograph, and many of them were trying to fuck me as I walked in to get a bagel. And it was just very annoying. And they were just like, hey, can I get a picture and fuck you? And I was like, all right, fine. So I was on the bagel line. I was just fucking them. And they were taking photos with me, like selfies. It was just awkward. But listen, I get it. It's nice when someone you know ends up being a famous star. Like me or Billie Eilish. Satan is my father. In the night, he comes in my room and he gives me a baby. And when the baby is born, it will enslave the world in darkness. Jimmy Fallon's like, that's great. You're such a talent. I'd hug you, but I'm chained to my desk. We don't want another incident. You know? So all I'm saying, folks, I don't know how to tell you how to live. Just if you're a kid and you want to go away to school, go away to school. Have some fun out there. Enjoy yourself. You know? Go away. Go somewhere different. I've only lived in New York or LA. I've only lived in New York or Los Angeles. You know? It's crazy to think about. And I'll probably never live anywhere else. You know? I can't envision. Maybe when I'm older, I'll move somewhere else. I think about that often. But these are the only two places I've lived. It's very unhealthy. Two very unhealthy environments, you know? But they're really the only two places that I can do what I do, you know? Which is inspire people all over the world to really live. I got a message the other day from a child in India who watches the show. He's 4. And he said, Tim. I don't know. I can't do an accent. Stop. I just can't. It's not that I'm against it. I just can't even. I'm so bad at it. But why is it? It's not. I'm not disrespecting anyone if I do it. But I've smoked a few cigarettes and I can't. Hello. I can't even do it. So this 4-year-old wrote me a letter. He said, Tim, he said, you know, things are not great here. He goes, I live in a slum. And he goes, I think I think that it's very hard to, we don't really have Wi-Fi. We have one little computer here in the whole small village. And we all get together and we watch the show. All the villagers will watch the podcast every week. And they canceled their subscriptions to Gas Digital, many of them, after I left. I didn't tell them to do that, but they did that. Because they were, he goes, we're eating literal garbage here. We're eating garbage. We're living in garbage. We're living in towns made of garbage. But when we watch your show and you tell us that it's not going to get better, we get it. And we connect with it. And we understand it. And it makes sense to us. And we laugh. He goes, we laugh. He goes, my brother was eaten by a tiger. And he said, but watching you just kind of smoke cigarettes on a porch in Los Angeles and scream made me understand that even though there probably is no God and we live in an unending hellscape and literal demons run this earth and this reality, reptilians from another dimension suck joy out of people, and then they feed off negative energy and they use it to create this paradigm that we all live in, and we can't get out of it. We don't know how. The only way to do it is high doses of psychedelic drugs, which I can't even afford. He goes, even though that's all the case, and I know that. I was like, this guy's 4? That's great. He goes, but even though that's the case, he goes, I still just get enjoyment from watching you blow smoke into the Los Angeles sky. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the fame. I do it for both. I do it really for those two things. That's predominantly why I do it. Those are the only 2 reasons I do it. Literally, those are literally the only 2 reasons that anyone does it. Anyone that says they don't do anything for money or fame is a liar. They're lying to your face. I just do it for the kids. Yeah, okay. But, you know, it is one of my regrets. If I had gone to college, what kind of life would I have lived? Would I have been a swimmer and good looking and not funny? Then I would have really succeeded in comedy. I'd live in a small little liberal arts college-y bullshit town, and maybe I would still drink, smoke a little weed, and get in front of a room of dumb kids and inspire those losers and say, I'm a teacher. Aren't I cool? I'm the cool teacher. Maybe I would have been the cool teacher. Hey, I'm the cool drama teacher. I'm the cool. You know, I was in Houston with Kreischer, and there was a couple of kids who were volunteering. I love cutting kids down. It's one of my favorite things. Like just looking at them and going, you're a fraud. You know, I say that to babies sometimes. I look at them and I go, you're a fraud. But then some babies are like, fuck you, faggot. And then I'm like, interesting. I respect you. There were these 3 kids that they were volunteering at the theater. And I said, what do you guys do? They're like, we're in the theater program. I said, oh, that's good. And I said, so what happens? Like after you graduate, you move to New York or LA? And they go, no, actually. They go, no, actually, Houston's got the 3rd largest arts community in the country. And I just went, and I laughed in their face. And I went, guys, come on. Don't be stupid. As soon as I told that to Bert, he laughed. I said, and they said, no, Houston's got the 3rd largest liberal arts community, the 3rd largest arts community. And Bert laughed so hard because you don't have it to go and fucking get kicked in the face. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? But don't pretend that you're going to make some kind of career in fucking Houston, Texas as a theater major. Can you stop? Cut it out. I just looked at them. I laughed right in their goddamn faces. And I said, that's it, man. I was a theater group on my tour bus one day when I was doing the tours. And they were like, yeah, some girl that graduated, she moved to New York City. And now she thinks she's better than all of us. I'm like, she is. She is. I went to Long Island, Holy Trinity High School. We had one of the best theater programs. We were one of the first high schools in Long Island to do Les Miserables. I wasn't in the theater group because I'm not a loser. I'm in the real theater. Okay? Okay? Tough guy? And one of the you know what that theater group produced? The best theater group in Long Island? Produced a lot of lawyers because you're all full of shit. Every one of those theater kids should have been made to play gym and made to do what I did, run around a track being chased by a fire-breathing dyke and look at penises while pretending they weren't. That would have been a much better skill set for them to fucking have than fucking this fake bullshit theater fucking thing that nobody, you should sign a pledge if you get out of gym for 4 years that you have to do theater for 10 years and ruin your life. You should be living in a fucking dirty apartment in New York with no hot water, going on auditions with your fucking clunky ass trying to dance around and trying to do it. Broadway's a hell. If you get on Broadway, it's an absolute hell. Nobody gives a shit about you. We went to go see that Ferryman show. So great. Nobody gives a fuck about those people. Spit on them right in the street. I love the show. If I ever saw one of those people, I would just spit right on them. I saw that show 3 times. I liked it so much.
So good.
I Phantom of the Opera, which sucks now. It is so bad now.
Dude, it was so bad.
It was so bad. Dude, it used to be so good. There was a guy who was clearly drunk. He had no voice. And he was like one of the principals.
It was like $600.
It was like so expensive. And the guy's like, the guy was singing. He's like, I had the Phantom. People looking at each other like, is this guy out late last night? Probably got evicted. He's probably homeless. But that show, I knew the lady that played Meg in that show, who's not the lead. The lead is Christine. The other one is Meg. Meg, I knew. She used to sit in the food emporium and drink clam chowder and stare at the rain every day before she had to walk into the theater. She was a cat-like woman, very pensive, startled easily. And you see these people, they just dedicate their lives to theater. Like 3 people succeed. My third cousin is one of them. Bobby Lopez, he wrote the music for Avenue Q, Book of Mormon, Frozen. He's an EGOT winner, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Two of each. He's won the EGOT twice. He's won 2 Emmys, 2 Grammys, 2 Oscars, 2 Tonys. He's in the most elite group. He deals with like Michael Eisner, who's the guy who owns Bob Iger, Disney, I don't know. He deals with those people personally. He's like, why do I have an agent? He said what? He's like, I don't know why I have WB. He's like, what do you deal with these people directly? His agent called him once, like, we're going to get you more work. He's like, more work? What? There's no more work. I'm doing Frozen 2. Like, I'm doing, like, the guy's got money. He's like theater royalty. His best friend's Lin-Manuel Miranda. He came to my grandmother's funeral once. I'm like, hey, come check out one of my comedy shows. He's like, well, your grandmother was a good woman. And that was it. Which is fair. I get it. It's theater royalty. But there's guys like him. His little brother ended up getting fucked over. He went into like Nickelodeon or something and they stole his idea. Or maybe it was Adult Swim. I don't know. One of those places. Maybe it was MTV or Nickelodeon. One of those things that you just went in, pitched something, and 3 months later they started making it. You had to get lawyers and everything. Yeah. Dude, people don't care. They'll steal your shit. But most people in theater are damned. So I think if you get out of high school gym for 4 years, you should have to at least give it a shot. You know, it's a tough profession, man. It's fucking hard as fuck. There's some very talented people. It's very hard to. Idina Menzel became super famous. She was in Rent, and then in Wicked, and then in Frozen. She became super famous. But dude, the amount of people that become super famous from Broadway, it's like 3 of them. It's very, very hard. And I don't care, but I don't care. That's what it's supposed to be. But it's what it is. It's a calling. You believe in it. It's religion. It's like everything we talked about. But those kids in Houston were hilarious. Well, actually, Houston has the 3rd largest. You shut the fuck up, you clown. Houston is one of the fattest cities in America. The only thing they have the 3rd largest of is people having coronaries at fucking Arby's. They have the 3rd largest people in America. Not the 3rd largest art scene. Maybe they do have the 3rd. But it's like that Bill Hicks joke, you know, when he goes, Iraq are the 4th largest in the world. But yeah, after the first 3 armies, there's a real drop-off. After New York and LA, buddy, is a real drop-off in art scenes. Lizzo's ass has the 4th largest art scene in the country. Shout out to Lizzo. I'm collabing with her soon. Doja Cat, Eilish, Lizzo, Dillon. That's my chick. What if I somehow became a recording artist? You know? What music would I have to do? What kind of music?
Hip hop or something?
That's for the blacks now.
Oh, really?
I think that's what makes it cool, is that it's black people getting into a genre of music they hadn't previously been into.
Yeah. I'm picturing you with big black framed glasses, like FUBU full jumpsuit, chains. I really picture you doing it. I mean, there's so many people we know that aren't funny at all that are very successful as comics.
Yeah, most.
So it's not
a clear
like,
majority.
It's not hard for you to imagine.
A big majority. Do you have a beat? Can you get a beat up right now?
Yeah, let's see.
Like a beat where I could be a recording artist. I want to be like Post Maloney, though. I want to be like, I've been in the rock star with my bitch. I've been in the club with this hoe. She be looking at me all night, though. I be like, where you going, you hoe? She's like, I'm going to go and get the blow. I said, maybe you shouldn't do blow. Hold on. Yeah, this is where it's at. You want to see how easy it is to be a recording artist? I'll give it to you right now. Here we go. I pull up in the Bentley, she be looking for a long time. I'm really high on days, but I gotta make the song rhyme. This is ruining it a little. Maybe not, hold on. I got a vibe with the beat, see me out on Sunset. All my boys and my girls in the car, everybody like, this isn't even fun yet. And I'm like, society's collapsing cause the corporate state is owning us. We're living in inverted totalitarianism. My boy Sheldon Wolin coined that term. He's dead now. Chris Hedges loves him. Where my hoes at? We might as well be hoes now. Because we can only come if it's violent. We need a lot of sexual violence. Our society is built on war and murder of the innocent, the torture and rape of the innocent, and the murder of children, cause you know they're killing children. And I'll be chilling in my Rover. American empire is over. Where my hoes at? Are you a hoe for the corporate state? I am. Spread my asshole. ExxonMobil, fuck me in my mouth, yo. ExxonMobil, fuck me in my mouth, yo. Fuck me in my mouth, though. Come that Saudi soda in my fucking mouth, bro. Put your oil in my mouth and my ass. Put your oil in my ass. Put your oil in my mouth and my ass, though. I don't even care, though. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine, killing people in occult rituals. Whatever, it's all chill, it's a vibe. I turned to Epstein once. We was at the island. Hillary was eating on a fetus. And she looked at me and she said, bro, it's a vibe. I was like, fuck, it's a vibe. And then I ate a baby foot. Hail Satan. Everybody now, hail Satan. ExxonMobil, come in my mouth, hail Satan. Hillary Clinton, eating a baby, it's a vibe. I turned around to Bill, I said, Bill, how you been doing? He said, good. And he was eating a baby too. It's a vibe. I mean, I think that's now the critique of that song would be that it's a little too, it's very lyrical. It's very lyrical. But it's a vibe. You know?
Yeah.
Patreon.com/The Tim Dillon Show. Please go sign up. It's only $5 a month. There's hundreds of hours of bonus content on there. It's a great way to support the show. Also, go to timdilloncomedy.com. He has a lot of shows coming up. New York, Carolines, March 12th through the 14th. Tim's going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Helium Comedy Club, March 19th through the 21st. He's going to be in Des Moines at the Funny Bone in Iowa, March 26th through the 28th. Funny Bone in Manchester, Connecticut, April 3rd through the 5th. Bloomington at the House of Comedy, April 9th through the 11th. Albany, New York, he's going to be at the Funny Bone, April 17th through the 19th. Dallas, Texas, Hyenas Comedy Club, April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Phoenix, Arizona, he's going to be at the House of Comedy, May 7th through the 9th. Columbus, Ohio, he's going to be at the Funny Bone, May 21st through the 24th. Omaha, Nebraska, May 28th through the 30th at the Funny Bone. He's going to be in San Francisco over the summer, June 4th through the 6th at the Punchline. He's going to be in Springfield, Missouri, June 12th through the 13th at the Blue Room. He's going back to Canada, June 18th through the 20th in Edmonton at the Comic Strip. And July 7th through July 12th, he's going to be in New York at Levity Live in West Nyack. Hope I'm saying that right. Also, remember that we have merch. We have a store on Bonfire. I'll put a link in the description for that too. Shirts with Tim dressed up as Meghan McCain on them. We have Life in the Big City shirts. We have mugs. We also have a growing subreddit where you can share clips from the show and talk to other fans, r/Tim Dillon. Go check that out. Follow Tim on Twitter at Tim J. Dillon. Follow him on Instagram at Tim J. Dillon as well. And that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed all this bonus content, and we'll see you next week.